Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the opening round of Season 3 of the Neo Endurance Championship here on iRacing.com. Our first event of 4 in this championship is going to be here at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, the Montreal 250. 2.5 hours await us here at this fantastic track here, located on the Ile Notre Dame, the man-made island on the St. Lawrence River. Just outside the main city of Montreal, and of course we have a full field of 40 cars. The two classes this evening are going to be the Daytona prototypes and the GTs, which will consist of the McLaren GT3s. So, in the booth for tonight's broadcast is myself, Scott Woodwisley, in the commentary. Alongside me for the duration of tonight's events are my good friends Dan Blake and Rob Cuss. So, gentlemen, good evening.
Good evening, Scott.
Good evening, Scott and Dan. See, I'm polite.
So, obviously, we've had our qualifying session and we're getting closer to the race.
Seems Scott's having a few issues with his microphone. Qualifying's been underway. DP field. You've got Blake Townend on pole with a cracking lap of a 128.38, whole 2/10 quicker than Mr. Anders Dahl. Matt Backham.
Yeah, I was very sorry, Rob. Yeah, it was the end of the DP session was quite enthralling, really, because Blake Townend, he ever so slightly, it was about 7 thousandths, then he put in another lap, which is another 7 thousandths quicker, then he put in a good time at the end of 128.387. It was really between Blake Townend, Matt Backham, and Anders Dahl there. Any of those three could have taken pole position, but it is Blake Townend for the Radicals who gets it, and that is a good lap time there from Blake.
Yeah, I'm really impressed. I mean, Anders Dahl, I've been in practice sessions with him all week, and he's always quick in his car, but Matt Backham doesn't drive this car, and he's, at the moment, he's a driver that's just jumping into any car and he's competing. He's been doing well in the Skip Barber. It's quite good to see. A new name, a new face. He has got a tendency to not be shy of an overtake as well. Relatively sort of like a bit Kobayashi style with slightly less talent.
I should be back now. It's one thing with my priorities on my computer. So unfortunately, iRacing, if it's on anything other than I think below normal, that for my processors, then it decides to just go ahead and mess up my voice for some reason. But I'm back now, so that's fine. Have you glossed? I'm not sure if I didn't quite catch it, but have you glossed over the GT grid just yet? Who's on the pole for the GTs yet?
No, we were just talking about the DPs.
Would the because we've got a 40-car grid, 20 DPs and 20 McLarens in the grid. It's supposed to be 22 in each class, but we have got a couple of no-shows in both classes. Taking the pole for the GTs with the number 2 of Tommaso Carla, with Stefan Moiselar in the 60 alongside him on the front row. Then Jean-Paul Niehuis in the number 969, and Maxim Ramstein, what a fantastic name that is, in the 233, with the 191 of Patrick Valente Ferro and the 999 of Paolo Martins raking out row 3, with the 37 of JB Maceda, Kevin Veckermans in 8th. We've got Wayne Sanderson number 25 and Fabio Gonzalez in number 111, rounding up the top 10 with a couple of minutes to go before they get these cars gridded up for the start of the race. So looking at what we've seen so far, I think we should also look at the calendar also, because I've got that in front of me. Just quickly talk about how this series is going to play out. We've got 4 races in this calendar. The first one, of course, is this evening's race, which is the Montreal 250. 2.5 hours with the Rileys and the McLarens, as we've mentioned here at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. The next race will be in a month's time. That's the Petit Le Mans 2.5 hours at Road Atlanta. And there'll be 3 classes of car in that one. There'll be the HPD LMP2, LMP1 if you like, HPD LMP, the Corvette C6R and the Ford GT. Round 3 of the championship will then be the 0.4, which Rob puts in the chat. He's racing that, so hopefully he does a pretty good job. In-car reporter, that should be pretty fun. I'm sure Rob can tell us a bit more about that in a second. Round 3 is going to be the 2.4 hours of Zolder on, ironically, my birthday, November 17th. There we go, we've got a race on my birthday. How nice is that? With McLaren's Radical SR8 and the Mazda MX-5s. And then the big one will be the final round of the championship. First time these guys ever what will pretty much be the newest track on the iRacing service, Mount Panorama in Bathurst, December the 15th, another 3-hour race around Bathurst, and it's going to be McLaren's, 4 GTs, Cadillac CTS VRs, and Kia Optimas. So 4 classes of car racing on that day indeed. So a pretty decent calendar looking there, gentlemen. Of course, Rob, you're racing at the Petit Le Mans as an in-car reporter. But what's intriguing is that there's no consistency in the kind of the cars which are going to be taking part, apart from the fact we've got the McLaren in 3 of the championships. How much of a challenge is that going to be for the drivers? Because, of course, for those who aren't consistently running in the McLarens, they're going to have to deal with different cars. Because, of course, this race, one race there could be in the Riley, next race could be in the HPD, next race there could be in the Radicals. So how much of a test is that going to be in terms of adapting from one car to the next?
Now, the best thing about this series is all the drivers can drive any car. You look down the whole field, any one of these drivers can actually jump in another car and drive them really well. It's the beauty of the Neo, and it's why it's so popular. All the events are always full. You know, they run a great series, the sponsors are great. So you got, you know, Fanatec sponsoring the series, GlacierTV, everything's, you know, it just draws. I mean, Kevin Parrish is quick, Nick Thiessen's quick in the HPD, Matt Beckham's awesomely quick in the HPD, Blake's quick in anything, Anders can drive anything, like, you look down the list, everyone can drive any car, it's great. Mount Panorama is going to be the best one, I think. 4 cars, it's going to be insane.
Dan, any thoughts on the checklist as well? We've got a nice mixture of circuits there. We've of course got Montreal today, which is more akin to slightly more of a street circuit with a close proximity to the barriers of the track, and then we've got 2 similar tracks in, if you like, in Road Atlanta and then Zolder. Well, because Zolder's a very flat circuit in most cases, whereas you've got with a couple of crests, whereas Road Atlanta's got a lot of elevation changes. And then of course we've got Bathurst, which of course Bathurst in itself needs our introduction. It's one of the most legendary circuits on in the world for motorsport, and it's the home of Australian motorsport. So that's going to be a real test as well, trying to adapt for those different kinds of circuits.
I think arguably Bathurst is probably going to be one of the highlights of this season. I think most of the drivers will be looking at that, even though we're still quite a way into the early stage of the season. I believe they're just starting to roll off now to start the race. But as you said, I think there is definitely some great potential for this series.
Well, cars are making their way towards the final chicane, led by the Ford Mustang pace car. Of course, they're going to be 2 by 2 down towards the pit straight. I don't believe we're going to have a lap to warm up the tyres up. It'll simply be the pace car, I believe, will pull off into the pit lane as it does now. And it'll be Blake Townend and Anders Dahl who leads them through the final chicane to head towards the start of this Season 3 of the Neo Endurance Championship here at the Montreal 250, waiting for that green flag for the 20 Daytona prototypes and 20 McLarens to get racing here in Canada for the first round of the championship. And the lights are out, and we're racing here at the Neo Endurance Series, and straight away into the lead goes, it looks like to me, the 57 of Blake Townsend holding the lead into second as Matt Backham tries to get up the inside of Anders Dahl. And as they head through, Backham almost goes wide and lets Rupe Turkilla in the 36 through. And looking back quickly at the GTs, see that they already made a start then already. There's 1 or 2 Daytona prototypes mixing in 22 of Richard Holt is right in front of the GT pack as they muscle their way through turns 3 and 4. And leading the GT pack, it is still, I think, in fact, no, it's not. It's not, in fact, the pole sitter Tommaso Carlo. It is, in fact, number 60, Stefan Ruisselar has taken the lead. So he's taken it second on the grid. And already Richard Holt's making his way back to the tail end. In fact, no, it's not, because there's another car up there, even further out of spot. And that's Jan-Paul Niehuys, who's now leading the GTs and actually right up there on the back of the Daytona prototype. So what a start that was from some of the GTs mixing with the tail end of the DP cars already, boys.
Yeah, very good start there from Jan-Paul Niehuys, and also, as you were talking, Tommaso Carlo took that position back from Stefan Ruisselar, but Jan-Paul Niehuys was right amongst these DPs. A fantastic start from him.
Yeah, he's Jan-Paul's super fast in pretty much anything with a roof on it, so great start from him. As one of the DPs is looking very second-hand already, and I think that was the car you were referring to, Scott, in the middle of that back. He had a lot of front end damage.
Right, leaders then down towards the end of the first lap, and already Anders Dahl going to the outside of Blake Town as they end the first lap, and they'll go side by side down towards turn 1. Dahl will have the inside line, and Townend leaving the door wide open for Dahl to take the lead of the race. We've got one of the McLarens coming out of the pit lane, so he is going to slot in straight between these DP cars. And already we've got a breakaway pack of 4 cars now. Blake Townend is leading, now Anders Dahl now has the lead from Blake Townend in second place, then Matt Backham in third, and Rupe Turkilla in fourth, and a huge gap back to Amjad Yamin in fifth, who's kind of already on his own in the 84. And then Nick Thiessen, who is right at the back, but Nick Thiessen's struggling.
Yeah, Nick Thiessen is very, very slow. I don't know what, I have to go back and see what's happened there, but Nick Thiessen has lost a lot of time. That's number 92, just going past him there. So
he would have got a blow down, maybe. Maybe took too much grass on the chicane and got a cutting penalty.
That could be the case. He seems to have speeded up now, but he has lost a lot of time in the process. So not to start Nick Thiessen at once, but with a 2.5 hour race, of course there is time for him to catch it back up.
Of course, endurance racing is not a sprint to try and win on the first lap. You've got 2.5 hours, as you said, Dan, and these guys do not want to be racing hard, too hard in this opening lap, because the race can come back to them. Any cars can fall into trouble, they can have mechanical problems, the weather can change, they can fall against them, tyres can play a factor as well. These guys have got to play it smart for these 2.5 hours. They cannot go all out attacking it at the moment. Matt Back gets a small slide on the exit, and that's allowed Rupe Killer on his inside, and he already takes third before they finish lap 2. So Dahl leads it still from Blake Townend giving hot pursuit, with Rupe Killer just taking third in the 36 from Matt Backham in the 16. Now Amjad Yamin still 5th, Steve Hobbs now up to 6th position in the 30, Kevin Parrish tailing him in the 24, then David Ward in the 69, Vit Salomon in the 66, and the 818 of Marek Studnicka rounding out your top 10 in the DPs. In the GT class, it is still Jan-Paul Niehuys, who is still leading it in the number 969 McLaren. And he's now mixing it with Richard Holt, of course, at the tail of the DPs. But of course, Niehuys now has all over the back of him the 191 of Patrick Valente Ferro as they head through turns 3 and 4. And Tommaso Carla.
Ferro on a mission.
Sorry, you have to say that again, Rob. I didn't.
Sorry, I said Herr Ferro's on a mission. Carnage in front.
And it's Richard Holt who's done it again. He's getting caught up between these GT cars. I'm not quite certain what Richard's doing. Of course, he technically should be the faster car, but he's struggling like mad. And already the GT class is just sailing past him right now. And that's now, I think, allows Tommaso Carla, who actually took the pole in the qualifying session, has now got himself into the lead as a result of that. So in fact, yes, he has. So Carla now retakes the lead.
Oh, that looked like the Falcon GP car, JV Masida, having a big sideways moment and tagging all.
I think it was. Was this one out? Paolo Martin's up the inside. Paolo Martin has got past. It's Wayne Sanderson. No, it's not in fact Wayne Sanderson. I think it's Maxim Ramstein, who was actually up there on row 2 of the grid. And Niehuys is also running slowly as well. Niehuys is struggling. And he's now right the way back there at the head of what's happened there, boys.
We are looking.
I think it's probably to do with that, the DP and the pit lanes car, the number 22, Richard Holt. You said there was a bit of carnage at the front, and I think that's probably what may have seen the end. And there's very bit twitch there from Anders Dahl as he came onto the back straight there. So Anders Dahl, a very big twitch sideways, which allowed Blake Townend to catch up a bit closer. But the battle for third is also still hotting up because Matt Backham is still on the back of Rupe Tequila. And as you said earlier about being a 2.5 hour race, I think Blake Townend did very, very well there when he let Anders Dahl through. He didn't put much distance up at all, because as we said before, it's a long race. You don't really want to be sticking it down the inside. We saw earlier in the World Endurance Championship race, the Toyota and the Audi getting a bit friendly in the early stages, but that's not quite the attitude that these two have gone forward in this run.
Already, I think, lost 3 cars already from the end of this race. We've lost one of them, in fact, because TK Yasugaki is out of the race. That was the number 07 McLaren. And now we've got 2 cars a lap down already. That's the 00 of Dennis Garrison. And the 06 of Frank Phillips is struggling already. He's now, I think, trying to get his way back up to the field, I think. But no, he's way down, in fact. He's now actually holding up the GT leaders at the moment. But still...
I've got a race control message coming through as well to say that Richard Courtland been black flagged for avoidable contact on the first turn of lap 2. So Richard Courtland is the early in the race director's naughty book.
That's the 72 then. He, of course, is going to be out of the race pretty swiftly. Going to have to make his way to pit road. And that's a rather promptu end to his race and his start to the championship, boys.
I don't think at the end of his race, I think he may just have to serve a penalty and go out. I don't think it is going to be at the end of the race, but we'll have to see on that one.
P3 McLaren Patrick Valente Ferro heads into pit road. Now, is he going to just top up and hopefully get some of his bodywork straightened out and get back out? Because that wouldn't be a bad thing to do right now while all the cars are still together, because he's quick enough to get himself out and around.
The GT seems to be switching around a lot. They're all tightly bunched together. It's still Tommaso Carla who leads it in the 2. from Stefan Muisela on the 60. He's actually holding up one of the those sort of protests. That's actually Marcus Meyer. So he's had some troubles in the 31 DP. So he's now trying to make his way through. He is, of course, 17th in the DPs and 19th overall, behind the two GT leaders.
And the leaders are starting to lap cars now. I've gone past one of the McLarens. They got a Daytona prototype in front of them already, and Anders Dahl very close to the world champions there. It's like many a good driver, Anders Dahl very close. But you'll see that in general, that quite a few of these cars will skip over that curb and go literally centimetres away from hitting that wall and somehow miss it. But I'm pretty sure over the course of this 2.5 hours, we might see a couple of drivers who just push that a little bit too hard and find themselves in that wall.
Yes, Patrick just got his car repaired. It looks like he's got a fresh bonnet on it, so I don't know what his top speed's like. Look for him to come back through in this 2.5 hour long race. So
just looking back to the battle going on, that is for the Team class. Then at the end of the top 10 of the GTs, we've got the 49 of them is Vincenzo Amico holding off the 88 of Kevin Wekemans with the 83 of Matthias Van Rieth. Not too far away, he's way behind. In fact, I think that's Randolph Chen with him, but yes, it is, or Chenal, chasing after them. So those two have almost swapped around completely, and Amico now going towards the pit wall as Wekemans heads his way past.
He's got to slow down. He's got to slow down for cutting
chicane. Slow down, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, he took too much curb.
So whilst we watch that battle back at the front, the lead is still only about 0.7 of a second between Blake Townend and Anders Dahl at the moment, but Anders Dahl already moving past the lapped car now of Jean-Paul Niehuys down the back straight, but yes, it is Niehuys in the 969. And they close out of braking again through this final chicane. There's huge concrete pounces.
There's a McLaren off just after the second chicane. Couldn't quite see who it was, 1 sec.
Also, Blake Townend's right on the end of Anders Dahl, because Dahl had a very slow exit out of chicane. Blake goes down, tries to go down the inside, but pokes back in. He's letting Anders Dahl know that he's there, and there's not much between these cars at all. It's about half a car length. Blake Townend near enough sitting on the back of Anders Dahl's car. You would think that Anders Dahl might actually be towing him if he were it's an invisible rope, but he's that close. But Dahl, in this first part of that, was trying to part just a little bit, but still very close racing at the lead in this field. And there's a bit of smoke in front of them as well, so that might be a bit unnerving for them. There was a McLaren locked up, but there's no one on the side of the track, it looks like. So these two are still racing on. In the battle for third position, Rip Tequila's pulled out a little bit of a gap to Matt Backham, about half a second, so he's got a bit of clear breathing space, but at the front it's all action between Anders Dahl and Blake Townend.
I can tell you that the McLaren that they're chasing, of course, the lap is 37 of Di Messina. He's now running way down the order of the GT class, so he's trying to make his way through, but I have to make sure he doesn't hold them up too much. As you can see, Dahl is giving him the big hurry up, and it's now giving Townend a great chance to get onto his rear wing as they exit the hairpin down towards the pit straight. That's very close as they both dart out and move past the McLaren. And now Townend will have the toe down towards the chicane. Would he try pass at 57? Trying to go for the lead here at the opening round of the Neo Endurance Series at Montreal. He'll go to the outside. Can he outbrake him? No. Dahl looks as though he's held on for the moment as Messina almost outbrakes himself in the background. But Dahl holding on, but Townend looking pretty frisky. He wants to get that lead back after taking pole position.
Yeah, Blake's a patient driver. He'll just sit and chill. He won't manage the gap between Anders and wait for Anders to make a mistake. He's not a super aggressive driver unless it's in the last 20 minutes he's going for the race win. As long as he keeps him in sight, he's comfortable. The McLaren that had a bit of a spinneroonie was the 91 of Timo Verhulst. So he lost quite a few positions. He was running quite high up in the GT3 order. I think he was running 5th and then spun it. He's now dropped back behind Vincenzo Amico, and he's just ahead of Valente Ferro and Matthias Van Rieth. So he'll have some quick cars catching him up very quickly.
Yeah, in that GT3 battle, Tommaso Carla has actually put out quite a gap. It's about 5 seconds the last time through, so Tommaso Carla has got his head down. He's trying to pull away a bit of a gap. We've seen in the DPs, they're a bit closer, but then Tommaso Carla gets the first corner, just a little bit wrong, goes a bit wide. Going into turn 2, he's got the momentum going again, and the gap is just under 5 seconds. It's 4.9 to Stefan Mugello. There's a further 3 seconds back to Maxim Runstein, and in general, these McLaren seem to be spreading out a bit more than the DPs, but the early race caused a few cars to go into the pits, probably contributed towards that, but the McLarens are just starting to spread out a little bit here.
So what we are seeing now, as they head down to turn 3 and 4, just looking at Tero Dahlberg, who's now in the triple 3. 5th position in the GT class. And he's now, of course, been chasing with Beckmans in the 88 and Paolo Martins in the 999. They run 6th and 7th in close proximity.
Yeah, and also not far behind Tara Darberg is a car running 4th in class, which is Wayne Sanderson. So got a little bit of train going there between Sanderson, Dahlberg, Beekemans and Martins. Probably the closest race at the moment within that GT3 field, up near the front end of it. And Wayne Sanderson been trying to hold off Tara Darberg. Tara Darberg, an experienced driver and someone who definitely will be trying to get up further and up into the race. And Tara Darberg will be probably in the next lap or two get up there, but he seems a bit quicker than Sanderson at the moment.
Yeah, there's race control come in, and Richard Holt has been backflagged for avoidable contact. Lap 3:10.6, so he's in the wars. As I've been watching the front runners in the DPs, and I have to say there's some nice looking cars out on the track, some really nice paint schemes. Anders Dahl, what were you thinking? Not quite sure what your paint scheme's about.
On Tara Dahlberg, then he went straight into the back there of the car Sanderson, coming into the last hairpin. He got his braking all wrong, has gone right across the chicane, and he's very, very lucky there not to be an accident, but he's lost Tara Dahlberg a bit of time in that Ferrazzo Agura car, but he's very, very lucky not to have gone into the back end of Sanderson. It'll be interesting to see if we can get a replay on that, but Tara Dahlberg making a rare mistake there.
I'm watching the back of the leaders then as they turn and head down the pit straight, and Dahl gets the toe of one of the GT cars. But watching 3rd place, you can see Rupiter Killer just starting to reel these two a little bit more. He's sort of bringing Mac Backham with him, because Mac Backham is about 2 seconds off, but now Killer's going to get held up by the GT car as he moves past now towards turns 3 and 4, and still just in front town, and he's all over the rear of Dahl. You would have thought, being that close, he'd be caught up in Dahl's dirty air, spiralling off the rear of that car, and that'll be hurting his front downforce, will be hurting his tyres. In terms of wear and temperature, it's going to be really hard, but Dahl's getting held up by one of the GT cars, and that could possibly give Tanner the break he needs. They both move fast.
Yeah, and also Rip Takeda, as you said, is really caught up, and you see him dropping that back a bit. I think it's more a case of Rupe's been able to get through the traffic and been a bit lucky with it. He's a bit stuck behind the McLaren now, which will allow Matt Backham to close up a little bit, but he's starting to close up again a bit in these top 3, because you've got Anders Dahl, Blake Townend, and Blake Townend is going past the number 72 car in the hairpin. He's gone well out of the way of that, but we're starting to close up a bit again in the front of this field.
Yeah, Rupert Takeda. One, he's Scandinavian. He's from Finland, so he's automatically fast. 2, he is one of the fastest drivers I've ever seen on 4GT. He's loony good in most cars in this service, so it's no surprise he's up there. It just tends to take him a couple of laps to get settled and to get into a rhythm, and once he's in it, he's very, very quick. He's within 3 car lengths of Blake right now.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to watch his next lap. So I reckon there's about 6 or 7 McLarens in front of them for them to negotiate. Anyone be able to, some could be losing, some could be gaining from it. But Anders Dahl's gone past the first one. Now he's got the car, another one which he goes past nicely. But this way to get through this traffic really could depend on losing or gaining time in this race.
Lots of traffic they're trying to get with here as they go through, and you can see it's not working out the town. In fact, it's working perfectly into the hands of Rupert Takila. He's really closed in, and now Dahl's easier time for the traffic has allowed him to create a small gap now to town in 2nd place, and it's playing also the hands of Takila. He's now starting just to sail onto the back of the 57 right now as they head through the chicane here at turns 8 and 9 down towards the kick 10, and the island pits hairpin, it's called, because it used to be, when the Circuit du Mont never existed, it used to be where originally the pits were, right here. This used to be the last corner, and of course they've moved things all the way down. It used to be also a fast sequence of sweeping lefts and rights down here at section as well before they got to the final chicane. But they head back towards the pits now, and the gap is at the splits. It's now almost a second between Dahl and Townend, with now about a 7/10 of a second gap.
Oh, Dahl gets the chicane.
Oh! Dahl around, instead of his advantage, and lucky to reach it on the anti-cut strip there. And now this means Blake Townend will shoot the lead from Rupert Takila in 2nd place. No, in fact, it's not, because Matt Backham takes the lead. Where did that come from? Matt Backham's gone deep across the grass. And Tanner goes round the outside, and Takila should hopefully get 2nd place. Steady on, boys. We've only been going for, what, almost 20 minutes?
12 laps.
We've still got 2 hours and 10 minutes. Calm down.
Yeah, very, very lucky there for Anders Dahl not to collect any of the cars, and also not lost too many positions, down to 4th position. But Anders Dahl there, you wouldn't expect that from him, but it just shows how tricky this track can be when you're trying to negotiate traffic.
He communicated with the GT car to say, I am going to go up the inside, but he got his angle wrong, clipped the first curb and it launched him, so he landed on the second curb and spun himself around. Lucky he didn't collect anything, and it was lucky the boys behind didn't end up in the wall, because brakes were going on all over the place.
I think Matt Backham is definitely as targets locked on Blake Townend. He got a good run coming out to turn 8, and as he came down to the hairpin, he thought better of sticking it down the inside. But as we said before, Matt Backham has got a bit of a reputation. He's not afraid to stick it down the inside and make a move. So it'll be interesting to see just how much patience he has. And they come up to that another GT cars. They come down towards the hairpin, which cost Anders Dahl the lap before. But looks like Backham's got a bit more patience as he goes over the curve again. And it's Blake Townend leading, well, Matt Backham in second, and Rip Takeda has actually dropped back a bit this lap.
Yeah, he got held up one of the GT cars on that occasion.
I was going to say Mac won't take too many risks with Blake, because they have been practicing together, so they've been working quite hard on the set together. So I'm sure there's a gentleman's agreement not to chuck it up the inside too hard.
Speaking of chucking up the inside, Blake Townend certainly back with Paulo Martins just there, and he was very lucky that I think it was Portuguese. I've seen him race in other series before. The Portuguese driver was very lucky there, as now Rupert Takeda, and now Anders Dahl slips past through turns 6 and 7. So it's pretty strong at the front. They start to split a little bit of the traffic. So whilst they're also taking a short break from battles, let's concentrate our focus now back on the GT that lead in the moment. It is still Tommaso Carla. Took pole, but lost it in the early couple of laps. He leads now by 5.4 seconds to Stefan Buiselar in second place in the 60, with Maxime Ramstein in third. And he's now, of course, ahead of Wayne Sanderson, who's about to be lapped by the DP and overall leaders. Kevin Veckerman's in P5, giving hard chase at him as he lets Matt Backham and Blake Townend through. Of course, Paulo Martins runs 6th. Vincenzo Amico is the first of the cars, so far, they're going to be lapped at least in a moment. The 7th is Vincenzo Amico in the 49. Terra Dahlberg is not too far away in the treble 3 in 8th. Randolph Chenel now under big pressure, actually was under pressure from Timo Verhoes. No, it's not Verhoes, he's under pressure from somebody. There's a green McLaren who's giving a lot of trouble. I think he's that now. It must be Thijs van Reef.
Anders Dahl's just in the middle of a half slide / spin coming out of the first corner. He's caught back up to the top 3, but as I came through the first turn, he just seemed to lose the back end a bit sideways, and that's cost him about a second or two there. So Anders Dahl making another mistake there.
The boy is trying. He's trying to get his gap back, but I mean, from what I've seen in practice all week, he's been quick and consistent. He's overdriving right now. He needs to just get back in the rhythm and he'll catch the guys in front because he is fast.
Looking back at the DPs then, and at the front here is still Blake Townend leading it by 0.8 of a second, but Matt Backham just trying to start to reel them in bit by bit here, and they are starting to gap Rupert Takeda, because the gap between first and third is now 3 seconds, so Matt Backham has a 1.5 second advantage over the Finn. Anders Dahl in 4th position now has a couple of GT cars to contend with in traffic, and I think there's actually going on a pass position, I think, in the GTs, almost between that Sanderson and Veckerman scrapping over P4 right now. So Veckerman's and Wayne Sanderson P4 just as Anders Dahl goes through, and that's the fight we're focusing on right now, and that's the precision there from Dahl slotting in between the two of them. But now down towards the chicane they come under brakes. Look at how Veckerman's closes on the super late under braking. That's putting right onto the back of Sanderson as they come across the line. And will he try and make a pass down towards turn 1? He's lined up, he's thinking about it. And Veckerman's now, no, he's not far enough alongside. He'll have to wait until another opportunity arises. Maybe on the exit of turn 2, we can get a better traction here. Let's see who is the sort of driver of this magnificent McLaren GT3 machine. Got to be careful because Paulo Martins isn't too far behind in P6. If there's any kind of mishap between these two guys, he will benefit from that instantly. And here's the next chance possibly down towards turn 6, and he close any more into braking. Does so a little bit, but taking a lot of the curves.
I think he's going to wait for the hairpin, personally. or maybe the chicane here. I think the hairpin's a better shot. Where if you remember, Kapitsa had that massive off, didn't he? Just before it through the king.
He did indeed. 2007 was when that was. When he's lucky not to escape with more than licks and minor bruising, I think. Of course, that was the which obviously after
just
that.
Here.
Just here, whack straight into that wall in the inside, which disintegrated his BMW Sauber. And of course, then it led to the next race, leading to the debut of a certain Sebastian Vettel. And of course, we all know exactly what he's achieved. And if you don't want any spoilers for today's Grand Prix, put your fingers in your ears right now. Because unfortunately, again, if it's a spoilers for any of the two guys commentating, I apologise either. So you've got to put your fingers in your ears as well. But unfortunately, it was Sebastian Vettel taking the win again this afternoon in Singapore. So
He was a bit good though this time.
to be fair, he was. One was
very emphatic.
But anyway, back to GT racing as a
Yes.
DP gets involved with Wayne Sanderson almost swapped. Yeah, that was a little bit risky. I'm not sure. I think his controller on the bonnet of his car needs to be inside the car. Personally, I think that might aid with his navigation around the track.
That line there from Amjad Yami, of course, is in P5 all his own at the moment, but kind of just in no man's land right now for him. But he's looking comfortable in that position, and that just compromised Sanderson's run through 5, and it's of course allowed the McLaren behind, the 88 of Beckerman's, just to keep with him. The scrap over before in the GT category. Need it. Sorry, go ahead.
Andrea Martins has lost a lot of time as well. He was 39 seconds back. This time he's 1 minute 11 behind and dropped right down to 17th overall. So something's happened there to the 79 of Andrea Martins. Lost a lot of time in that last lap.
Yeah, I was just watching. There's two guys that had offs earlier. Or got involved in an incident. Like Terra Dalberg is driving his way back up. Patrick Valente Ferro is also driving his way back. He's actually racing Terra Dalberg's position, not too far apart. So those boys are working hard to make their what's the word I'm looking for? They need to come forth through the field. Totally lost what I was going to say.
That's quite strange for a commentator to be lost for words.
I just.
But
Andre Martins pitted, so that mystery's over. It turns out that Andre Martins had a pit stop, 20.3 seconds. So he's now fueled up and ready to go for a second stint.
Mystery solved. Right, moving on back to the front of the field in the Daytona prototypes. We'll give a quick rundown of the top 10 for the prototypes now. We approach the 1/5 distance, which is half an hour. We're just under about 2 minutes 45 seconds away from that, and it is still leading Blake Townend now with a small gap to Mac now in second place, and Rupert Killer coming back at them as he's now actually starting to charge back off the tail of the number 16 car in third. Anders Dahl, after that mistake, hasn't really made any more progress in fourth position. He's now 7 seconds off the lead and 5.5 behind Tequila in third place. Amjad Yami, as we said, is in no man's land by himself in P5, but look at the nice comfortable gap at the moment to Kevin Parrish in sixth in the 24. As I'm just seeing in the background that battle. In fact, I think Beckerman has got past Sanderson whilst we're watching the DPs, so he has managed to get through into position 4, but had to see Sanderson get his way back through. Don't think he can because they're letting DP traffic through. David Ward in the 69 is coming 7th ahead of Nick Tyson in the 89. Steve Hobbs 9th in the 30, and the 66 of Vitz Salomon rounding out the top 10. Of course, we said Andre Martins has dropped down to 17th as a result of the pit stop. Car 79. He currently has about a 6.2 second gap to Frank Ferry Jr. in front of him in 97. So we'll try and close him down as we progress through this race and head towards the half-hour mark in this 2.5-hour race.
It looks like we've only got 4 retirees at the moment, and that would be Jean-Baptiste Macida, who's unfortunately had some issues and parked his McLaren. Richard Holt, no, he's still running. Matthias Van Reef has parked his McLaren up somewhere on the circuit and has stopped running. He's listed 7 laps down. Duljon Baldwin has stopped, and TK Yasagek has stopped as well. So only 4 non-runners at the moment. That's pretty good going.
And also it keeps equal numbers between the Ds and the GTs, because we've lost 2 GTs and 2 DPs.
Richard Holt's just spun as well. You just mentioned about him, and coming into turn 1, he's got it all completely wrong. Spins it round. He's just about to come onto the track now, but Richard Holt's afternoon just gets a little bit worse.
Yes, and the leaders are coming up right behind him, so he needs to be looking in his mirrors right now as he has Blake Tanner and Matt Backham and Rupi the Curler hammering past right now. Oh, good man. It's his mirrors well, that's the leader's spot. Good bit of driving there. His DP looks a bit second-hand though.
Let's go another one coming through at the moment. That's the 36.
And the McLaren chasing him down as well. He might be better off just parking.
It's not really Richard Holt's day today, is it? Because he's all over the place today, and I think that spin's kind of almost a sting in the tail for that one. Of course, on my screen, because my graphics are slightly lower than these 2 other guys, so I can't actually just how much damage that Riley has. But obviously, if Rob says it's second hand, I'll take his word for it. In fact, of course, we've got behind. We've also got in the 4th position. Of course, that looks to be Anders Dahl closing in. Yes, it is. He's just made his way past one of the McLarens. That's the number 2 of the class leader, Tommaso Carlo. So Tommaso Carlo now has been lapped. That's the entire GT field has now been lapped by the leaders. Tommaso Carlo is now being lapped for the first time. He still holds that lead over Stefan Wiesler. Although Wiesler, looking at that time last time around, he closed him by about 2 seconds. Last lap time round for Carlo, and they come to end this lap. He did a 137.5, let traffic through. Stefan Wiesler did a 135.4, so this is just starting to come back a little bit now from Wiesler in the 2nd position, in the 60. Lap times this time around, what were they this time? A 35.7 this time from Carlo, compared to a 35.4 from Wiesler. So that's going to be intriguing. So the lead now for the GT category could be stopping down a little bit, but we'll see just how much more Carlo's got to give. We have gone past the half-hour mark now. Maxim Ramstein is in 3rd place at number 233. Kevin Veckerman's now, as we said, up into P4 and already gapping Wayne Townsend in P5 with Vincenzo Amico actually now past Paolo Martins and actually started to really bring Paolo with him to chase after for a top 5 slot at the moment.
Where's he found his bag of talent from?
Oh, he's probably found it from somewhere. Someone just thrown it to him out the window.
Nah. Well, one of my teammates, not known for his McLaren driving, he's doing quite well. I'm rather impressed by him. Drives a TVR at real life. Owns a TVR. Don't know why. Terrible.
So, back to the front, we'll have a look at the DPs, and actually looking at the last gaps around, Matt Backham is within a 1/4 of a second to Blake Townend, but no, he's not now, because he's lost 2nd place now to Rupi Tequila, so I think we need a replay of that, because that's something that we missed. I missed at least. Let's see, my iRacing has frozen just a little bit, so I'm sure it'll come back to me in a second.
There's a pass coming out of the 2nd, no, he let him go past. Flashed his brakes to say go past. I wonder if you've got to slow down. Maybe he took too much curb somewhere. Because Matt flashed his brakes, a little tap on the brakes to say, look, I'm letting you pass, and then passed. He must have got to slow down. He must have taken a bit too much curb somewhere.
He'd lost 3 seconds like last lap, so that would be quite reasonable explanation there, Rob.
Yeah, it's easy to do here. I mean, you've got, obviously with any motor racing, you've got to stay between the white lines. You see it in all forms. You get the race directors saying, please don't exceed track limits as Backham gets slightly sideways. So there's a little bit more time there, but it's still comfortably in 3rd. Yeah, you've got to stay between the white lines. Even the curbs, you can't take too much curb, otherwise you can get done for exceeding track limits. And in this thing, you get a slowdown penalty, so you have to back off your split time and wait 3-4 seconds and then go again.
Another man who's lost a few positions is Kevin Parrish. He was in 6th position. Now David Ward is in 6th, Nick Thiessen 7th. So Kevin Parrish dropped down to 8th position, and Thiessen's now all over the back of David Ward as they come down to the hairpin.
Did Parrish pit? He's got a lovely looking car. I like his paint scheme. I don't know what happened to Parrish though. Let's have a look.
He didn't pit because he was just in front of David Ward, and now he's behind him and Thiessen, so maybe a small mistake somewhere.
I can see that Wayne Sanderson has just did, as I saw him posting the communication to all drivers, so he's now back out in 10th position after making his stop, but of course he's got some of the DP runners closing on him rather quickly. One of them trying to make out the number on that one, but I'll keep it still. I'll be able to try and find out who that is, but I can't see a number on the side. It's the 03?
Anders Dahl.
It is Anders Dahl, there we go. So Anders Dahl is closing in. Of course, he's trying to make up more time after. But he really hasn't made up that much more time. The gap's been pretty static at something around 5 to 6 seconds. So after his early pace early in the race, do you think that spin earlier on is maybe just? Oh, and a car from the background. Just in the background. It was a DP in the background. Now,
speaking of spins, we've also seen Ahmed Yamin spin out of 5th position. He with the number 84 car went round coming out of the first corner, and that allowed David Ward to go past, and also Nick Thiessen. Yamin's managed to get past Thiessen, but another mistake there from a DP driver, Ahmed Yamin, and that's put David Ward into the top 5.
Yeah, these cars are a bit of a handful. It looked like, going back to Kevin Paris thing, it looks like he may have got slowed down as well for exceeding track limits, so that would be the reason he had to slow his car down, as one of the radicals exits the pit lane, one of the radicals McLaren's, after his fuel stop, I guess.
And I can tell you that the car that spun up at turns 8 and 7 and 8 and 9 was in fact the 38 of Daniel Benefield. Just caught him on the screen. He is a lap down on leaders, back in 18th position, both not sure overall. He's 18th in the DP class, and he actually is 18th overall. In fact, he's the man, of course, at the moment who is currently last, and actually the car next in the order is going to be the 233 of the new GT class leader, which is Maxime Ramstein. And of course, now Kevin Beckerman's. I think Tommaso Carla's pitted, I think, at some point, because he's back down in 3rd position.
And Maxime Ramstein's now in the pits, so the little guy who took the lead in that GT class is coming in the Speed Hunter's car. So Maxime Ramstein now in the pit lane.
I will say, if you look out at Tommaso Carla right now, Stefan Moiselar has closed onto the rear of that car, because they're both letting one of the DPs through. That's the number. It's got 3 numbers on that one, so that's probably the 818 of Marek Studnicka. But now we could see a switch for P3 here. Or P4 rather, as Carla is now going to try. No, it's P2 now. In fact, in GTs, of course, now that Moiselar has a couple of cars pitted. So this is now Carla and Moiselar being away to try and make that happen.
Yeah, it was Maxime Ramstein who was pitted, but as you said, Moiselar right on the tail of the car, Tommaso Carla, and once Patrick Valente Ferro, how far? He's not too far in front of them either, about 5-6 seconds maybe, but this is the battle we're looking at between Tommaso Carla and Stefan Moiselar, 2 very experienced campaigners in this McLaren, and Moiselar all over the rear end of the car to cut the car of Carla as they come down to the hairpin. It'll be interesting to see if what can happen there, but they've got 2 more DPs quickly closing in on them as well, so that could have an impact.
And the brakes for turn 8 line under the bridge. I think one of them is actually, that must be, no, it's not Dahl, in fact it's going to see that must be, it's closing in on him. It's, I think it possibly, is it Andre Martins? It is Andre Martins in the 79. He's got past Studnicka. And that was actually for position, I think, because Studnicka's now, yes it was, so that was for 14 then, Andre Martins. But I think now, that battle for what I think is effectively the lead of the race. Watch and see what Patrick Valente Ferro does. Does he pit in? So he carries on, so he's staying on the lead at the moment. That's the 14 past of Nicola Roncelli. Back now with the back.
Oh, very nearly into them there, Tommaso Carla, and that's going to be a slowdown going across the chicane. And that's not the first time we've seen a driver do that today, but Stefan Moiselar, very lucky not to go into the back of Tommaso Carla. He took the chicane, knew it cost him a slowdown, but he's still in the race, which is the main thing.
Very risky stuff from Moiselar not to cause a collision with anybody, but he's carrying on regardless. Now, of course, he's got 2 Daytona prototypes between him. There's 1 now, because there goes Andre Martins past the man which Moiselar was just on the rear end of, and that was, of course, Tommaso Carla. And I think that Vic Salomon is the next to come up and lap them. Yes, he is. That's the number 66. Running 16th overall and 16th in the DP class. Of course, his car running rather smoothly as far as I can see. And quick look back to the front end of the field overall, and the DPs, it is still Blake Townend now with a 3.5 second advantage over Rupe Tequila, who still has the issue of Matt Backer behind him to deal with. So those two are running in close proximity for second and third. Anders Dahl has dropped back even further, so he's now 10 seconds off the lead, 10.8 rather. He's now 6.5 seconds back from the battle for second place, with David Ward now up in the top 5, number 69, from Nick Thiessen, who's now getting held up by GT traffic in the 89. And he was not careful. In fact, I think the Parish has just got past him through the GT traffic. In fact, he has. So the 24 of Kevin Parish has got past Nick Thiessen. Now he himself moves through some GT traffic, who turns.
Thiessen very close there to hitting car Tara Dalberg going through the chicanes, turn 7 and 8. Very, very close there. The DP is trying to get through the car, and also Nick Thiessen be very keen to try and get past Kevin Parish. Has gone past him, and also they got in attention number 84 Amjad Yamin. So we've got 3 of the DP cars very close together there in the battle for 6, 7 and
8. The 191 McLaren of Valenti Ferro has pitted from the lead, so he's now hitting the stops for the first time in this evening's race. And Tommaso Carla resuming the lead at the moment, down towards through turns 5 and then through turns 6 and 7. And the brakes, and of course now he's going to contend, of course, with Vince Salomon trying to make his way through the pair of them. He's got past Boycelar, but now he's going to try and slide his way past Tommaso Carla. And I think also that's got a car coming through as well. I think that's Frank. Is it Frank Frazier? No, it's not. In fact, it's not Frank Frazier. It's actually the leader of the race overall is coming through past him. So the battle for the GT lead is about to be lapped again by the overall leader in DP. So leaders are coming together, but only for a brief space of time.
Yeah, Blake Tannen just manages to get past him down before the hairpin, so there's not really as much time there. And he's starting to pull away from Rupe Tequila and Matt Backham, about 3.5 seconds back. And these 2 DPs will have to try and get past the 2 McLarens on the straight, because if they catch them up into turns 1 and 2, that'd be more time lost for them as they try and chase down Blake Townend.
Yeah, he's driving well, is our Blake. It's all good. I don't know how these boys do it sometimes. 2.5 hours racing around Montreal. Ooh, that sounds like a whole lot of hard work from where I'm sitting.
So that hard work just saw Rip Killer just clout the curbs at the final chicane, as I think did Matt Backham, but not severely. I think the rear end just stepped out a little bit there under braking for Tequila as he trail braked into turn 1. There's the Virage Senna, named after, of course, the famous Ayrton Senna. And down towards turns 3 and 4. And then behind now, of course, the GT lead. So it's now second in Ps, to lap second in GTs. That I went on. Weisler has to. I think he was a bit reluctant to give that place up, but he just about did. Now that's not working out for Matt, because now he's getting bolted on the exit.
I think it worked out better actually, because he didn't really lose. He was in the break-ins anyway. The McLarens aren't slow through the corners, not through that corner anyway. They tend to carry a lot of corner speed. So he hasn't really lost out. He's losing out because he's too throttle happy, stamping on the noisy pedal too early, getting sideways out of every corner at the moment.
Backham coming down the inside. Backham has just come completely flying through. I think he forgot where the brake pedal is, and that's allowed Anders Dahl to come past, I think, there as well. So the position lost for Matt Backham is side by side with Anders Dahl, but Matt Backham seemed to just forget where the brake pedal was there for a second and went flying through. Lucky to be able to continue. Didn't hit anybody, didn't hit the wall, but now he's side by side with our early leader, Anders Dahl.
I think he was trying to go home. So he just completely missed the braking point and just went straight on.
I told you he was too heavy on the noisy pedal.
He's too much on the noisy pedal, not enough on the middle pedal to try and stop him. But now, of course, he's retaken third position, Anders Dahl. Well, he's defended it successfully, shall we say, because Dahl did have a look and he got pulled alongside the 16, but Backham just able to use his defensive skills to their full potential. And now he has to lap the GT leaders all over again. So at pretty much exactly the same spot he did just as he did the lap ago. Exactly the same scenario.
Oh yeah, it's going to be entertaining. We have race control letting us know that Vincenzo Amico was black flagged. Looks like for avoidable contact on lap 24, turn 12.
I'm seeing now just quickly on the back end of Backham down towards turns 8 and 9 and under brakes again. Back was wide at the exit. Coming out, maybe sideways. And Dahl pulls alongside down towards the hairpin, and using the toe from the McLaren in front of Tommaso Carla should get himself up in the front. Bakker will hold the inside line. Restart just sat there thinking, come on boys, I'm trying to battle for the GT lead. Scrap amongst yourself somewhere else. And down the back straight they go. They'll move past Tommaso Carla, and now, for the moment, Bakker is back in front. No, in fact, he's holding on at the moment. How much longer does Dahl will have that slipstream down towards the final chicane? Will he try and make a desperate dive? No, he won't. He thinks better of that one. He's much wiser than Bakker appears to be. No offence, Mac, but exiting the final corner.
I did liken him to Kobayashi earlier, and my reckoning is about right. He's brilliant. I love him to bits. He's a good guy. He's fun to hang out with, but yeah, he can be a bit interesting driving.
What was it? David Croft described some of Kobayashi's moves there. Another Leroy Jenkins moment there from Kobe and Kobayashi. That was a Leroy Jenkins moment from Matt Bakker, I think it was.
Exactly.
Only in Bakker's case, it didn't quite come off, because Kobayashi's did. Bakker now really starting to pull away from. Again. Are we watching an endurance race? Or are we watching one Grand Prix drifting here? Because I'm not sure what Bakker thinks he's driving. Whether he's driving an actual Daytona prototype or a car that's will be at home drifting somewhere like, I don't know, into Irwindale Speedway, because that's he's not driving that thing like a normal race car. I can tell you that now.
It's exciting though, isn't it?
It is. He's certainly putting on a show, but sideways isn't usually the fastest way around the track. It's the most exciting, but not necessarily the fastest.
Yeah, it's not. He's not gonna. His car does look. It's got a few dents here and there. It's got a few dings. Have to get sorted out in his next pit stop. I wonder where it's come from.
Blake's gone straight on through the final hairpin. So Blake Tannen, little lapse of concentration. Don't know if we quite get a slowdown for that, but yeah, quite a big gap over Rip Tequila. It was 5.3. Now I think we'll find the gap down to about 3 seconds after that. He has lost quite a bit of time, 3.2 seconds. So Blake Tannen just with a little bit of a lapse of judgment there, but it hasn't cost him too badly.
But the thing is, it's endurance racing. So the guys in most of the races in iRacing are 45 minutes long. Even the Proto GT race, which is supposed to be the endurance racing. So now it's getting to the time where normally races are finishing. But in this case, they've got another hour and 40 minutes to go or something like that. Good luck, boys.
Wait till the driver swaps come in. This will be absolutely nothing.
Yeah, it'd be awesome. Can't wait for that.
Are these guys driver swapping? I didn't
yeah,
they were.
apparently iRacing said they'd be here soon.
Ah, okay. We go.
Not for this one though.
Oh, this one. Sorry, I did think these guys. I didn't see any co-drivers listed for this. I know driver swapping is. Just spotting that. Was that Kevin Parrott? Was that someone's gone off at the? It was no. There's a slow DPX in turn. I think there's possibly. Is that Daniel Benefield again? Yes,
it is Daniel Benefield.
Anders Dahl. I was looking at. Sorry, it's gone back past Bakker.
I was just about to say that.
Where's Bakker got to? Oh, he's waving back. What's happened? Look at the wrong car. I was looking at Rupert Tequila, not the battle for third. So,
but Anders Dahl has gone back past Bakker, and Bakker is right on the tail end of that DP.
Yeah, I'm going to look at the replay to see exactly how that was made. It looks to me it was on the exit of. No, it was, where was it? Exit of turn 6 and 7. It looks like. Look at the replay now. I'm not sure if Jarno, our camera, wants to put that up on the screen. And again, it's that sideways. Oh, the replay again, sideways out of turn 7, proper sideways drift action from Bakker, but it's proved to be his downfall. Anders Dahl just sweeps past and gets himself in front, close to move off before the braking zone for 8 and 9. So again, it's that flamboyant driving style from Matt Bakker in the 16 that's kind of proving to be his downfall, because it's not really working out. Although he is starting to creep back onto the rear end of Dahl as they head down towards another piece of lap traffic, and I believe that's the treble one of Fabio Gonzalez ahead.
Yeah, it is. That is Fabio Gonzalez.
You know, Max reminded me of. I'm gonna have to take you back a few years to sort of just, you know, around the end of the 70s and the early 80s. The guy that this track is named after used to drive exactly like Max, proper sideways everywhere, and it's brilliant to watch. It's a little bit quicker, but yeah, it's not a bad tribute to the man that the track's named after, Gilles Villeneuve.
I think it's fair to say that I think many will probably consider Gilles Villeneuve to be one of the greatest drivers ever in Formula 1, never to have won a World Championship, because he was absolutely spectacular. Of course, it was before my time, but he was just watching what he did. He was a spectacular driver, and of course, the circuit's named thing in his honour, of course, after he tragically died in the practice for the Belgian Grand Prix at Zola, which is ironically one of the circuits that we go to for round 3 of this 4-race championship. And of course, he died in practice back in the March of practice, and of course was thrown out of his car and subsequently died of his injuries. And if you look carefully at on the start line, you'll see the message Salut Gilles, for everything he did to make Formula 1 exciting for Canadians during that period of time. And of course, that's then, this is now. And I've just heard that Paolo Martins has made a pass that's for 7th position, I think. Yes, he has. It's a pass on. No, he hasn't. So look, Pablo Martins has overtaken someone. I'll tell you that much. Who has he passed? He's passed. Oh, there we go. He's passed Tero Dahlberg, the treble 3. That's the treble 3 car has lost a position to Paolo Martins, but Jan-Paul Nijhuis is up 2 spots past both of them.
Yeah, and Patrick Valenta Fiero is right on the gearbox of Kevin Venkmans as they're going to turn 1 into turn 2. So, he's going to get a good run out. Will he get up the inside? He's got a good run. They're going the side, but they're not quite side by side. That's a lie. But he's got the inside for chicane, mate. I think better of it. Oh, gets a little bit sideways.
I think David Ward's been involved in an incident because he's communicating sorry to a driver and he has slowed down a lot. So could be problems with David Ward. I think he's in the pits now, but there may have been some contact on that lap.
And I think it's Kevin Parrish. Parrish just said thanks. So I wonder if those 2 incidents are related. I wonder if it's because Kevin Parrish is just the pit lane. So I reckon. That's intriguing. I think that's just what Kevin Parrish was nudged in the back.
The leader.
I think I just saw it. I was nudged in the back in his pit box by David Ward. So maybe that was the collision that we're talking about.
I saw David Ward going slowly though. They came out the hairpin. He seemed to be going a lot slower than normal on his way to the pit. So don't know if that's maybe a precursor of something that's happened before. But both drivers have lost a bit of time. And David Ward, is he still in the pit lane? I think he probably still is. No,
he's out now. He is out now. I can see him.
Patrick,
he's back up.
Valente Ferro has just gained a place. He's up to 5th now in GT3. Just gone past. No, 4th. Sorry, he's gone past Kevin Venkman, 4th place in class.
I can also say.
His way back.
I can also say that we've lost the D-Power. We've lost the 818 of Marek Studnicka. He's out of the race, disconnected from the server. So we've now lost 4 DP cars. Who else have we lost? Looking now to see who else we've still got left. We've lost quite a few, in fact, actually. We've lost, since we've been talking, Frank Phillips in the 06. We've lost also Richard Holt. And Andre Martins we've lost as well. Richard Cortland is out of the race. No, he's still going. And then Marek Studnicka. So we've actually lost, this is now working out in calculation. We've actually lost now an equal amount of GT and DP cars. We've lost 4 DPs and 4 GT cars. So we're now down to a 32 car field now as we approach the hour mark.
And David Ward's approaching the pit lane again. He's been given a stop and go penalty, but avoidable contact. So he thought maybe he'd been involved in an incident, and that was the case. He's now coming down to pit lane to take his penalty. So David Ward, who was running in 5th position, is seen this afternoon go down the drain very quickly.
I'll tell you what, these race officials are tough. They're tough, but they're very, very fair with everyone. This is probably the most well-marshalled event in iRacing, in my opinion. Always, there's accident, they look into it, they dish out a penalty, and it's the same for everyone, which is great. It's not like the FIA in F1. Who give out penalties for drivers hitching lifts back to the pits. It's crazy.
And also for drivers being forced off the track and being told to give a position back, which technically they never actually lost. So that was quite an interesting call there. But stewards at Neo,
F1, Tate Eggle, Sandfield and Neil Hickens, they're the people that manage this event and are our race directors. Very good job, gentlemen.
I think Nick Tyson is channeling his inner Backham, because I just saw him have a fantastic slide out of turn 2.
Oh, there's a DP facing the wrong way. Turn 2.
And that would be, if we have a look, I'll scan through see who it might be.
It was a purple car.
Purple. That would be the number 9 of Nick Helden.
Nicholas Helden, yes.
he has looked around. He's got it back going again, and now amongst a sea of McLaren GT cars, he's been surrounded. So he's now trying to make his way through.
He's got a very broken front end on that car as well. Right head. Oh, and his tire comes in late on the brakes and almost runs into the back of everyone. Oh, Matt Beckham's turned around. Oh,
Rupert Tequila's in the pits as well, so it's all going off, and there's number 14 who's going past Matt Backham as well. That's the car of Nicola Roncelli, so it's all going on really. We've got Rupert Tequila who's come into the pit lane, and now we've got Matt Backham having another one of his little moments. And really, this race it's never really slowed down. There's been action here, there, and everywhere, and it's still the case now.
You know what's worrying? I've got to drive an endurance race with Matt Backham on another simulator. He's my teammate for that race, so that's going to be fun.
I think we should start the hashtag before Rob, because he's probably not going to last the length of his car's probably not going to last the length of the race. Max didn't hit most of the time. I wouldn't have thought. But he's now carving her back through the GT traffic as he heads down towards the chicane. It's right and left.
Oh, there's a DP facing the wrong way.
The wall. Now, who's that? That is. Let's see if we can scan through.
Marcus Meyer.
Yeah, the 31 of Marcus Meyer
has run out of talent at the Wall of Champions.
Run out of space.
I did predict that before the start of the race. I thought maybe one or two might end up in there, but Marcus Meyer in his pits. And also, it's worth noting that the race directors have actually given these drivers one fast tow each in order to prevent people, because obviously sometimes the race has been so long when people have one off or at the end of the race, but they've been given one fast tow, enable them to race a bit longer and to keep the field numbers up really. And
so what that means is they have super mechanics basically. So if there's any damage on their car first time they come into the pit, Superman goes to work with his laser beams and super strength and bends bodywork back straight, basically.
Basically, saying they all turn to the hole, go and bend the car back into the right way.
Yeah. No, they fix all sorts of issues. It's good work. Keeps them honest.
I'm guessing it's all the strength, less of the green. I'm guessing. Anyway, Rupert Tequila watched him with a lot of understeer into turn 1. He got it together, so he's now holding station in P4. Of course, has just made the pits, of course, trying to get those tyres up to temperature. As we get edge closer to the hour mark here, and of course, after that will be half distance, because of course it's an hour and 15 minutes in this 2.5-hour race. The season opener of this third season of the Neo Endurance Championship. 4 rounds we've got. We've got this race here, the Montreal 250. 2.5 hours of racing here. We've done almost an hour of it here. Then we go, of course, to the next round, which is the Petit Le Mans, for another 2.5-hour race around Atlanta.
Cool. Well, I have to do some training for that.
Indeed, of course, because our co-commentator Rob here is in fact racing himself, so he'll be doing a bit of in-car reporting for us. And then we've got, of course, the 2.4 hours.
I can tell you how that goes. Right now. Hey, Rob, I'm in the wall.
Oh, just been told, car 89, Tyson is running slowly. Now, that's either got up from somewhere, or he's had a spin. I'll look on the replay to see exactly what's
he's
happened
got
to him.
Bag full of damage on his car. Absolutely, his car is smashed to bits as he heads to pit road. So Nick Thiessen heading to pit road.
Oh dear.
In a rather second-hand DP. Hopefully, this will be his fast tow. Hopefully, I don't think he's been in the pits for damage yet, so hopefully...
Haven't seen him.
Yeah, his pit crew should get this fixed and he'll be back out all hunky-dory.
And this one I would give now as the pit straight moves past, 6th position to Steve Hobbs. Rather low-key run so far on the number 30. He's running a rather nice trouble-free race so far in P6, and I'm now saying that probably cursed it. So, if that is the case, apologies Steve, if you do crash in the remaining hour and a half. Hope he doesn't, but P6 now, running pretty well so far, as Nick Tyson, of course, has now finally reached his pit box, and the crew will go to work. Let's see if he uses his fast tow, because I'm pretty sure if he'd be straight back out
again.
It's automatic,
so there we go.
There we go.
Fixed. Brand new. Superman, well done. What a pit crew. That was fantastic.
Quick note on tractions, of course, we are running the dynamic weather here. No rain or anything, but of course, in terms of just track temperature and humidity and wind speed and such. Currently partly cloudy, 63 degrees Fahrenheit, with a northerly wind, which is increasing now quite quickly, about 18 miles an hour. Now it's northwesterly. And race humidity 72, so it's, of course, it's fairly humid, so effectively if this is a real race, of course, the higher the humidity, the more likely it's going to be for rain to set in. But of course, normally high humidity means the more chance is going to be of potentially there being fog on the circuit. So we'll wait and see how that plays out. But now we've got Nick Tyson, who's quickly goes back out, but he's already being
Thiessen.
It's Thiessen. Sorry,
his name's not Mike. It's Nick. Nick Thiessen. Where do we get you from, Scott? Seriously.
I don't know. I don't even know I don't even know where it came from. I don't know what the hell has happened to me here. But anyway, Nick Thiessen. No, I said it correctly this time. It will stick, promise. He's now under pressure now from. Well, actually, he lost quite a few positions because now Nick Parris on the 24 went past, and now he's in danger of possibly losing 8th, sorry, from Vit Salomon, the 66.
Hey, he just overtook him. I thought he just overtook him.
He might have done. We've got Andersnol and Mac Backham in together, 2nd and 3rd from both overall and DP. So this should be pretty intriguing.
Whose pit crew is faster? Probably Anders.
Anders will hit his box first.
I think Mac will come out sideways.
I don't think we expect anything less. That you'd be disappointed if you didn't. As meanwhile, almost forgot about this man, Blake Townend, 57. Now, the last time we checked, 24 seconds clear of next car in second.
This is Root Taylor, who's just gone through, so he is P2.
In fact, he'll be more than that. It'll be something like 45 seconds. So the gap with Blake and Rupert was 45 seconds as he went across the line. So Blake Townend so far looking pretty good at this stage in the race as we creep towards the. In fact, we have just gone past the hour mark. In fact, so we're now 1 hour in, and now just a fraction under an hour and a half to go in this season opener of the Near Endurance Championship. Rounds it, as we mentioned there. As it comes
Blake pitting, brings it down. That's that late on the brakes, trying to get down to whatever the speed limit is, 60 k's, I think. 64 k's speed limit.
It looks to me as if Matt Backham lost quite a lot of time in the pits because he's quite a way behind Anders Dahl, quite several seconds back in fact. So
he might have taken some repairs. He did.
Quite possibly.
No doubt. He's had some of his bodywork straightened out from one of his excursions.
Meanwhile, the 57 hits the stop, and up it goes. And of course, the work will go on, and this is like normal endurance races. So all the fuel will go in first, and then the tyre change will happen as soon as the fuel is. So, as they do in normal endurance racing, I think you'll find. So, let's see where Dahl and Backham are in relation. Well, Dahl's already on the back straight heading towards the final chicane. And Blake is still not left. He goes.
Just come past the start-finish line, so we're very tight between those two. Rip Tequila and Blake Townend.
No, Townend will have it.
Townend just about has it, but Tequila are far behind the too. So he's gained a lot of time during the pit stop sequence because Tequila is now. There's just been a couple of car lengths of Blake Townend.
I think Roop's due a pit stop though.
I think Roop pitted recently, didn't he?
Don't know.
When Roop's been into the pits.
When?
He pitted about 7 minutes ago. Yana Matakar
so
director.
Okay.
That we knew.
But this is intriguing, of course, now, and of course, it's going to get those tyres up to temperature because they'll be stone cold. Tequila's has had about 7 minutes or so to get up to temperature, so effectively Tequila has the upper hand here. And we'll see what he can pull out of the bag down towards the hairpin. I don't think he'll try a Leroy Jenkins style move down here. No, he won't. But he's going to stay very close on the exit of the hairpin. And there's there's 3 McLarens in front. There's GT traffic. But Rupe Tequila now looking for the race lead in both DP and overall down the back straight. How much can he close in here? Can he close under braking now? There is more traffic in front. It's a red McLaren. Well, on my screen it's a red McLaren because I've got the skins. So
Sarah Dalberg, I think you'll find. It might be.
Yes, it is. With number 333 of Tara Dahlberg. The gap between the two cars, the overall lead for the record, is 0.5 of a second, it's half a second. As Townend almost goes too deep into the first corner, trying to get past Dahlberg, who then dutifully moves out of the way for Tequila. So I think really he did Tequila more favours than he did Townend.
Tequila. Sorry.
You got to say the proper voice, you got to go Tequila. Anyway.
As we lose the plot after an hour.
Yeah. What's worse, we've got an hour and a half since go with this. See if we can map it until we finish. Anyway, moving forwards, the two leaders have just lapped one of the. I think that must be Steve Hobbs. I think looks like that in 30 because it's a white and navy blue DP. Indeed, it is. Just lapped him. So the whole field up to P5, Amjad Yami have been lapped, which is an incredible achievement, considering that most of these cars have been in some kind of trouble in some shape or form throughout this opening hour and 5 minutes.
It's been a good race so far. The top four's all driving well. We've got exciting moments. We've had entertaining moments. Had a lot of some of the good drivers, unfortunately, like JB Mercedes retire with accidents and stuff. So it's not been too bad so far. Who do you reckon's going to win then? Now we're an hour in. Who's your money on?
Ooh, it's intriguing. Looks to me as though the likes of Dahl and Backham have dropped away from the leading two. So I think at the moment, I think it possibly could be. If it runs trouble-free and this close, I think it's going to be either between the two cars in the lead right now, either Townend or Tequila, because it's of course these two seem to be the class to field so far. I mean, Dahl's pace has dropped since he took the lead early on, and Mac Backham doesn't seem to be making any more progress through the field either. So he's more concerned about trying to battle over third position with Dahl. So these two have got pretty much almost a clear track, bar the GC traffic, so they can run their own race. So it's a bit too close to call at this stage of the race, but it'll be either, I think, Townend or Tequila who comes away with it overall.
I still think any of these. I still think that any of these top four DPs can win it. It's only 12.6 seconds separating them, really, which in the grand scheme of things isn't really too much. So I think we've still got a lot to play out for in this DPs. Now back to Rob, who thinks about to talk about GTs.
Yeah, I was just gonna. I mean, I'm looking at the GTs, and Tommaso Carla's way out in front. From Maxime Ramstein, who's having a good run in the. It's like a Neo-sponsored car with an intriguing paint scheme. Maxim on the back and GlacierTV down the side. So I wonder how much Yoni and Jarno are paying to run that. But Patrick Valento Ferro is on a march, and he's up to third. I reckon, with the time that's left, I reckon he's going to get P2, possibly P1. He is fast and he's on a mission. So that's my pick for the GT3s. I reckon Patrick's going to win that. Not he's radical or anything, because he's actually driving brilliantly right now. Yeah. But Stefan Mugilar's creeping around, Jan Paul Niehaus. There's so many good drivers in the GT3s. And
Tommaso Carla into the pits, our leader from GT3. So second stop of the afternoon for Tommaso Carla.
Yeah, as he runs down. So where's this going to... I think Maxime's going to take the lead. I think he was close enough. Where is he? He's coming down the back straight now, so going to be close.
Certainly will be. Still keeping track of Townend and Tequila now has a 1.4 second gap over the second place, and seems to be extending it a bit through this traffic. So it's good management through the GT cars. Townend seems to be coping with it a lot better than second place. Dahl is 8 seconds off the lead, and he currently is got about a 5.7 second advantage for Backham. So Backham has dropped off after his early excursions, and Amjad Yamin is of course now in 5th position, way back in the back, so 50 odds, so over 50 seconds off.
And Maxime Ramstein did take the lead at GT3, and it looks like Patrick Valente Ferro got through as well. So Maxime Ramstein from Patrick Valente Ferro, and then Tommaso Carla from Venkmans, Mugilar, Jan Paul and Dalberg. That's your GT.
Another retirement as well. We lost David Ward in the number 69 for the Daytona prototype. So David Ward had a penalty, dropped down to 16th place, but unfortunately for him, it seems like his afternoon's work is done in that number 69.
Pink, rubbish-looking car.
No, there's contact there with Valente Ferro, one of the Daytona prototypes. I think that's number 30 there. It's like this Daniel Benefit. So Daniel Benefit, a little bit of contact there with the McLaren of Patrick Valente Ferro, and that's going to put him right now into the clutches of Tommaso Carla as they come down towards the hairpin. So not what Patrick Valente Ferro wanted there. Contact with Daniel Benefield.
Daniel's been in. Daniel's been in the wars a lot this afternoon in today's race so far. He's been in quite a few incidents, and we'll have to wait and see how that plays out and see if he actually makes the end of the race. But meanwhile, still looking at, of course, see that Stefan Wiesler is out of the pits now after his stop, back out in 5th position. With now Jan Paul Niequist in P6. Still in number 969. Dahlberg has just left the stop. In treble 3, he'll come out in 7th place. But no, he won't. He'll come out in 8th. Paolo Martis has gone past. As has Wayne Sanderson. So that means now that Dahlberg will come out in P9, in fact.
Looks like we've not, we've lost Nick Thiessen.
Yeah, I just noticed.
P6. I think let's have a little look. Let's have a little scroll around. He's hit the wall. He's only gone and lost it. Comes into turn 1. All nice.
Turn 2. Whoa.
Loses the back end. Goes round. Alls tries to save it. Snaps back on and slams him into the wall. Race over.
And not even
Nick
his incredible
are done. No, he's already used his repairs of his other lack of talent. So sadly, that's Nick out. It's shown he was running really well, and he was actually the last DP on the lead lap.
Now that honour falls now to Amjen Yamin, of course. So effectively everyone bar the top 5 and put down at least a lap down. So we'll see how that works out. For the moment, we've now lost 6 DPs, so we're down to 14 cars in Daytona Prototype, and then we're down to just 16 cars left in the McLaren, the GT class with the McLaren. So we've now gone from a 40 car field. Now, we've got a McLaren going across the escape route turn 1 and 2. Who's that? I tried to remember who that was. It was Frank Phillips. Somebody's gone across the turn 1 runoff area. Who was that? It was Randolph Chenoweth. Number 50.
Chenoweth.
There's a lot of McLarens in the pits as well. I'm looking at Matson Rancy. I think that's Kevin Vikerman's in there as well. So I think these McLarens coming into the pit lane now as well.
And also,
Valente Ferro heads into the pits from P3. So, and so Ramstein's in the pits too.
Marcel Carlo will carry on. He will take the lead. As the leader in GT, he's become the leader overall. There's Blake Tannen trying to make his way around the outside. Well, looking at a replay, that's the reason why that's looked at you wrong, so apologies for that. But Tommaso Carlo has now been overtaken by the leader, the lap leader, and there past him goes Tequila. Carlo started back in pole position, is now continuing forwards. Remaining in the lead here as the second round of pit stops begin to shake themselves out.
Anders Dahl was slowly starting to inch his way a little bit closer. He's only 5 seconds behind Tequila and 7.4 off Blake Townend. So Anders Dahl may be going for a bit of a concentrated effort now. He's seen him a bit more slower before, but he's starting to up his game now, and he's just 5 seconds behind the car, Rick Tequila.
Here's another question for you guys. Do you think Dan Blake will pass his ARDS test this week?
That's a really good question. Well, I mean, I'm not sure how Dan can answer that. I mean, obviously, I think Dan's probably his answer's probably going to be yes, because he's confident in passing it. Are you, Dan?
Pretty confident, yeah. I've been reading up on the Blue Book, and I've had quite a lot of help from racing drivers I know. So yeah, pretty I'll pass my ARDS test, but interesting.
Good luck with that.
Thanks.
Yeah, no, it's good that you're going to try and pursue a full-scale racing career. That's cool.
And that's also mostly come from this iRacing service, really, because I've been out of racing for a while. Cup iRacing last year, along with the British Universities Karting Championship. It's just gone there from there, really. So iRacing has played a major part in that.
And also, we can.
Blake Townend just went straight on. Chicane 2.
And that's going to cost him the lead, because Rip Tequila straight down the inside. So we have a change of lead. And the number 36 car of Rip Tequila capitalises on the mistake by Blake Townend, and this will be his taking the lead. So, bit of a change.
I actually think it had something to do with that McLaren, Dan, because when the McLaren involved, I don't know whether he went to let him through or didn't quite make his mind up which way he was going, and it left kind of Blake nowhere to go.
Let's look to see who that is. That was
Dennis Garrison.
Yes, he was Dennis Garrison. Of course, with no Gins, of course, he appears as a green McLaren on my screen.
Sorry, it's a lime green on mine. Yeah, it looks like
green,
he's given Blake the room, and I don't know, Blake just lost it on the brakes, I guess. That's what it looked like. Lack of concentration.
I will say on the whole racing driver thing, I was actually very tempted looking at that scheme called Want to Race, where you can actually end up getting a season in a Ginetta G40, which was quite intriguing. You have to go down to a karting event at your local, local kind of top end karting track, and then, which for me is Ella Park, which is in Becca was in Suffolk, and I live in Norfolk. And then you get to go through 2 rounds of driving a Ginetta G40. You get Ginetta G40 driving experience. You get 3 runs in one of those cars at a certain location. And then the top 30 then go through from, it's like 30 drivers go through, it's the final assessment, and the winner gets the whole season. So it could be an option for next year. I think they've already finished this year's competition, or they're going already at the final stage for this competition. But next year is certainly something I'll look at.
Yeah, it's finished now because the person who ran it, which is Ben Hyland from PPIK Leeds, they're actually my local karting track as at university. So I know the people at PPIK and Want to Race and Ginetta, all the people involved as well. They had the KX Academy drivers, I know Rob Boston and a couple of the other guys, from the KX Academy are involved in that as well. So, and also I believe for the final they had the G50 out as well, which would have been quite an experience. I absolutely love that car. But yeah, schemes like Want to Race really providing the steps for people who may not quite have the budget to go proper racing, just giving them a chance to showcase their skills. So very, very good initiative there.
Exactly like this game, you know, you can get into it if you're watching it on the stream and you fancy giving one of these cars a go, then you can click on iRacing.com website and sign up and have a go. You will improve, and you know the iRacing system is fantastic. I mean, you can if you look at the sponsors for this event, Fanatec, they do some cracking wheels and shifters and pedals and stuff like that. So you have got, you want to watch streaming, you watch GlacierTV, you watch us, and if you want to fall asleep, you listen to Dan Blake.
It's not the same without Will Vincent though. Will can't be with us this evening, but certainly brings a bit of life to the commentary box.
It's more peaceful. It's more zen. I feel more at one with the broadcasts.
This is more Radio Le Mans than Vincent does.
Yeah, exactly.
It's more BTCC, so yeah, it's a bit more easier for us. But yeah.
Are you saying I don't bring excitement to this podcast?
Oh, it's Rupert Tequila looks down the inside. Some back markers. That was brave. That was late on the brakes.
That was also a swift change of subject there. Rob then when I asked that question.
yeah. No, you're great. It's good to have you aboard. Better than.
Go on.
I was going to say, it's just nice to have you aboard. Better than having no one at Blake Towner makes a mistake.
Blake with a huge slide on the exit of turn 2, he just about caught it.
He's been to Anders Dahl just behind him.
Dahl is closed in, so Matt Backham is kind of nowhere at the moment. He's 6 seconds back. He's going to get that GT traffic as well. And there's Dahl. I have to try to do it all over again. He's cleared the 2 clowns that were in front of him. And now that it's got that clear air again, he's actually starting to resume his chase after Rupert Tequila, who's making his way past one of the DPs. That was the 38 of Daniel Benefield. I believe the last car on the field is the last car in the DP still running is 97 of Frank Perry Jr. In fact, it is the 14th overall and in class. So he's now just in front of Mac Backham in the 16.
Yeah, that's to be very careful going around at number 38 of Daniel Benefield. He's been involved in his fair share of incidents. Moving over there, well done there for him to let Blake Town in through. So Daniel Benefield's going to let him through, but as I said before, I think any of these top 4 can really still win it. It's just we saw there with Blake Town, a small mistake there has allowed Anders Dahl to catch in. And over the last few laps, Anders Dahl has actually caught up massively to the 2 in front of him. So really, it's still anything to play for as we come up to nearly the halfway point.
Yeah, I mean, if it weren't for the Mac Backham moment that Blake had, obviously I said they've been practicing together. That's taking it a bit far, but he knuckled down and it looks like he's got a little bit of damage to his car on the front right.
gap to the first and second is now 1.5 seconds, but it's being a little bit held up by the Martins. Yes, it is. It's the Martins in the treble 9, and Daniel Benefield is just making his way through as well. Of course,
he's making a nuisance of himself.
He is, yeah. Now he have to contend with Anders Dahl in third place, as he's now got past him on track through turns 8 and 9.
I mean, if you're running 2 laps down and you've got a leader's car behind you, just get out of the way. Don't try and race him down the back straight. Just move over, let off the throttle, and let him go past. 2 laps down.
All the battle going on between, like, Sanderson placed in Alba on track in the back of the GT class. He's now back down to E8, E9 now, as Dahlberg is now up in position. He's now making his way through the field, so has overtaken.
He's catching Wayne Sanderson as well. And
I've been given some bonus information from our race director to inform me. It's been 30 minutes since the last penalty, so it's a bit quiet for them at the moment.
They should come in for a chat. They should come in for a chat. I think we should meet the men behind the Neo series. Let's see if we can get them in here.
Whoa,
there's loads of taskmasters. Oh, funny that. Daniel Benefield off the track in a cloud of smoke. Shock horror. Sometimes you just need to park it. I bet he's racing first as well. Daniel. White lines, stay between them. All 4 wheels, right direction.
But I'll be hearing that soon.
His reputation and his tyre smoke precedes him. Anyway, moving forwards. Daniel Benefield continuing on, somehow still in 14th and 13th place. I don't know how he's managing it. But moving forwards, Blake is catching their Ruper again. Top 3 are now all within a second of each other.
Yes, they are on track.
Dahl now is looking now possibly to try and make a move on Townsend pretty quickly. And they've all closed up again. This is now the lead in DP and overall now. As we've now got to 1 hour and 22 minutes in this 2.5 hour race. We've passed the halfway point. We're now continuing our last into the second part of this race, the second 1 hour and 15 minutes here at the Circuit de Villeneuve. As they now head down towards the chicane. Oh, and the exit. Townsend getting shaky again. This now means this little bit. Dahl again to his inside, then he's outside, swinging over the back of him down towards the first couple of runners. But Townend making that number 57 car as wide as he possibly can, making it very difficult for Dahl to try and get through. And certainly to give him the hurry up, but of course they're both giving the hurry up to Rupert Tequila, who's now really starting to feel the pressure.
Oh, that'll be a slow down.
Oh,
Blake got to slow down.
Very wide there. Going through the corner there, and
Blake's got to slow down.
He's got to slow down, which is going to let Anders Dahl back through. But these 3, you wouldn't think they've been racing for over nearly an hour and a half. You think they've only just started how close they are. And Matt Backham still isn't completely out of the woods. He's only 6 seconds behind these as well. So
just there
we could soon have those. We could very soon have those 4 cars back together again, and they really are the class of the field. They've got over a minute before the next car in 5th place, or Ahmed Yamin. So really, these top 4 are the class of the field in the DPs. In the GT class, it's like Tomás Sakala. We're begging them a little bit of attention, of course, but Tomás Sakala has a lead from Maxim Ransline. In 3rd position is Patrick Valente Ferro with Stefan Mujan 4th, but Tomás Sakala has a massive lead over Maxim Ransline. Carla is now on the back straight as Ramstein just crosses the start-finish line, so a very big lead for Tomás Sakala in the GT class. So, but now back to the DPs where all the action's going to be.
Oh, there's Ahmed. Oh, comes Paul, loses it and comes back in front of Patrick Valente. Ferro has, lost it at turn 1. Did our friend with the gamer pad on the front, Ahmed Yamin.
The Tequila just made his way past, slightly deep into turn 1, just crossed it up. And that's now Delan Dalton's just close in because they've now got to negotiate another GT car. And that is, my screen is green and...
That is Jan-Paul Niehaus, my friend.
Yes, it is. So...
Good recovery drive from Jan-Paul. He was involved in the trouble in the first couple of laps. So he was at the front. He was on right to come back, but Anders Dahl chomping it a bit there in the back of Group Tequila. These 2 battling hard, and also Matt Backham is finding himself back. And in fact, all 4 of them are in one screen there. So That's going to be quite interesting to see. With Anders Dahl trying to get past the car there, John Paul Neas hasn't quite got past him yet. But the top 4 are in the same shot because Matt Backham's quickly closing to Blake Townend and lost 3 seconds like last lap.
Down towards the hairpin again.
Yeah, Blake's, they're all catching each other. This is great. This is what endurance racing is about, folks. No tire issues, just flat out racing for an hour, 2.5 hours. Fantastic.
I feel a Mac attack in full effect, as you can say.
Oh, yeah.
Well, maximum attack worked well, so don't see why it can't happen over 2.5 hours at Montreal. Let's see how they come across the line. Let's actually compare lap times. Across the line they come. Tequila's lap time is 1:31.3, Paul's at 1:31.4. Townend at 1:29.9, so he really is back on the pace. He's flying up to the back of these two cars again. And Matt Bacham's lap time at 30.0, so both of these guys are closing in. But of course, these two had to, the leading two had to with traffic, so they weren't running at their optimal pace of clean air. So of course we'll have to wait and see. But now Backham's got to contend with the...
Anders Dahl got it all kinds of sideways with that chicane as well. He lost a bit of time.
Of course, Bacham's having to contend with Jan Paul Nieguis now. In fact, he's getting past him. Oh, just about. Oh, Nieguis didn't make it easy. In fact, he did that on the apex just to make Backham go around the long way around the outside. I'm not quite sure Back appreciated that. It was like, yeah, cheers for that, Jan. Make life more difficult, why don't you?
Yeah, you multi-class racing, you've got to have a certain amount of respect for everyone else, and sometimes each of the classes don't help each other out. You know, GT drivers will just be, oh, let them go around instead of, you know, you can just lift and let the quicker car through if you're not battling anyone. It actually hurts your lap time more because, you know, you're trying to outbrake a quicker car.
Next up for the Ps, we go on board now with a roll bar view of Anders Dahl. Next for the leaders, they're going to come to lap 4th place in GT, which is Stefan Muislar in the number 60. Let's see, he will give them a move past at turn 1. No, he won't.
As we see this from Anders Dahl's roll bar, we see him coaching right up to the back of Tequila to go through the centre garage corner. Now as they come up to turn 3, with Tequila on the inside there of that slower McLaren car, and Anders Dahl not quite be able to get through there, but from his roll bar, it's great viewing as he goes down the inside there, and then McLaren just a little bit wide there for Anders Dahl. And Blake Townend now is going to have a great break with this McLaren, and he's now right on the back of Anders Dahl. So Blake Townend on the back of Anders Dahl as they now come down towards the back straight.
That was a brave move by Mr. Townend there. Really late on the brakes. Takes a different line down that short shoot into the chicane, so I reckon he's going to. I don't know, maybe his car's a little lighter, who knows? Who picked first? Root be due into the pits first out of these guys, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he pitted about 7 minutes before, if I remember rightly, from our first stint of pit stops, and then I think it was Anders and Blake. I think Mac was one of the Mac pitted at the same time as Anders, actually, wasn't it? And Blake was the one who pitted last, if I remember rightly.
Down the back straight again, and then just starts out a little just to give Dahl something to look at in his mirrors. Down through the gears. I'm actually watching from the back of from the gearbox view of Rupe Tequila. Fantastic low end shot. It almost got along the ground. Actually, what if maybe we can get Jan to put that shot on the gearbox shot from Rupe Tequila, looking back at Anders Dahl and Blake Townend. Hopefully, you guys will get a great shot of that watching these two try and give chase. And it gives a real sense of speed as well. You get the wonderful raughty engine note from that. I presume it's either a BMW or a Ford one. They're currently on Blake Townend's roll bar view right now. He's chasing off to third. Slight lift, I'm watching from Tequila as he lifted off. As Dahl and Down and continue on. And I will now switch my view into the nose of Blake Townend, so then I move to another one of the GT cars. Tequila manages it, hasn't done it just yet. Being held up slightly. Townend closes under braking through 8 and 9. Tequila's exit wasn't as quick as he'd like it to be, but they're going to move past pretty swiftly.
Yeah, Michael, this is going on. Matt Backham got clear air behind him, gets a bit closer. Townend a little bit late on the brakes there. Nearly a Matt Backham moment, not quite to that extent, but Blake Townend very late on the brakes, but he's made it move stick, goes past the McLaren. And then, very rightly say, because as we can see, Matt Backham really is starting to catch up on these three now, but he's got that McLaren to overtake. But Backham is slowly going to get himself back into contention, I think, in the next couple of laps.
And hop over this 1 by 1. Still Tequila who leads it from Dahl in second, Tannen in third. First, second, third setted by now 1.2 seconds now between them. And again, and Tequila likes to take a run through turn 1. That's compromising his run, the line through turn 2. It just allows Dahl to close right in under braking. So, and it keeps him there in the tow through turns 3 and 4. Another lap car in front to try and get around.
That's Maxim Ranstein, second in the GT class.
Look, they're coming through to lap GT class leaders. And this is a fantastic scrap, and looks like the Ramsey will have plenty of room to allow them to go through without too many dramas. And Townend's right on the back of them as well, so first, second and third, so close you can almost throw a blanket over them, they're so tightly packed together. And Matt Backham now has got plenty of clean air, and he's really closing these guys in right now. As you said, he's continuing just to chip away at the advantage.
And there's going for a move, possibly, but not thinks better of it. But these three, you think there was an invisible tow rope between the three of them, but this is really, really close racing. Rupert Tequila holding off Anders Dahl and Blake Tannen. But remember, we do think that number 36 car will have to come into the pits first, and that the three behind him will be able to run longer.
Yeah.
Down.
It's a good battle as they're going to the Wall of Champions chicane. Ooh, and Anders took a lot of curb. Allowed him to catch up a little bit. He's got a good run, yeah.
Dahl will try and go to the inside towards turn 1. Will he try last of a late move? No, he doesn't. But look at the way Blake closed under braking. I'm actually now watching a slightly different view. I'm watching the blimp shot, personally. Of course, you're probably still looking for the back of Rupert Tequila's gearbox. But I just see how much so much better he was under brakes.
Oh, Anders a bit impatient with that McLaren.
Oh, here he comes.
To turn in.
Blake now going to try and make a move from E2 down towards turns 5 and 6. They've got a GT car in front, then almost 3 wide down towards turns 6 and 7. And they get through. Look at Backham. Matt Backham really is so close up so much in that clean air. So first, second, third, and fourth. Or look at that, they're practically nose to tail right now. This is incredible stuff.
Yeah, fantastic racing. I said that Matt was on a Mack attack, and he's proven just that. And his target for him is Blake Townend, and they're working close together. But you think now, coming towards the second half of the race, that Matt Backham may be a little bit more eager than he was earlier in the race to make that move.
Maybe we shall see. They need to catch Rupert. They can't let him get clear, so they need to. All three of them kind of need to just knuckle down and just drive laps at the moment. So it looks like we lost Marcus Mayer as well.
That's another DP. He was just in the right spot we're coming out to now with the leaders, which was just on the exit of the chicane. They head through another GT, try and get around, and that's a
Vincenzo Amico.
It is a Vincenzo Amico. Way down the order. It's now Blake Townsend slots his way past. Look very close. Ooh. And Marcus back gets and Matt Backham gets through as well. So these guys, some top-class driving to get to weave their way through the traffic. But it's incredible after an hour and a half of racing. This first, second, third, and fourth are all together. And it's not. There's no lap cars, no lap margin. This is all for positions. This is all live gaps. They really are this close in the race. About 1.7 seconds separates the top four, and we've still got just under an hour left in this endurance race here at Montreal. It's fantastic stuff.
You know what song would be quite apt at the moment? A bit of Return of the Mac, because he certainly is on the back end of these guys.
Oh dear, Mr. Blake.
That's not come from me. That's come from Egil Sandfeld, so I can't take credit for that. But
that's our race director. Our race director needs to take himself out of the director's booth and go and have a word with himself. As Blake Tanner makes a move on Anders Dahl in the hairpin. Oh, that's going to get very tight. Oh, Anders just holds on.
Hasn't made it stick, so he'll get another chance down in the slipstream down the back straight back towards the pits of the final chicane. You can see Dahl's getting defensive this time. Blake's making force to go to the inside. Will he try and make an outside pass?
Yeah, he's going to make his line harder for the chicane.
He'll try the switch back on the exit if he can.
That was a smart move.
Oh, what happened to Matt? Because he had to brake. Oh, that was a slow down.
Slow down.
Slow down for cutting too much chicane. But here comes Townsend inside again. And Dahl defends it once more. Just about holding on. Rukiela's not actually getting away from this lot too much because he's just holding on for the moment, but he isn't really being able to create a gap right now as Blake Townsend's swarming all over the back of second place Anders Dahl. And I'm pretty sure it's when rather than if he's going to make a pass here.
We're also going to have shortly a battle for P2 and 3 in the GT3 class as well, as Valente Ferro is actually winning in Ramstein.
I think Matt Backham's getting more slowdown penalties because he's dropped right off the back of these two, especially through turns 3 and 4. So either that he's got a problem of some sort. That's what's happening. Race control. Race control point of view on the lead battle of Riley. This is race orgasm, and we like orgasms. That's the quote from Egil Sandveld, not me.
Ask him if he's been on the vodcast.
He can probably hear us, so he'll probably give us an answer in a second. Anyway, first, second, and third now start to move past. Again, is that is probably that's a green. That's a what's it? Blue and pink McLaren. It's Yuri Vituk. It's no one else. It's actually who that is. Where are you?
Anders Dahl got to slow down. Anders Dahl got to slow down. Blake to P2.
Richard Courtland is the
took too much
McLaren.
of the chicane. So Anders Dahl drops to P3 due to taking a little bit too much curb.
Naughty, naughty.
Yep.
And it was actually Richard Courtland they got through the last lap car. They went past number 72, but he's actually 7 laps down off the leader. And compared to his McLaren counterpart, he's 4 laps off the class lead. So in fact, he finds himself last of the GT car still running, but at least he's keeping it on the track, which is more than can be said for some people. And as we continue on, Mac Backham now trying to close down the time that he's lost to the back they've been going through. And Blake Townend has got past Anders Dahl.
I said that.
Apologies, apologies.
2 laps ago. You nana. And Anders got a slowdown in the World Champion chicane.
So now the battle's on for the lead once again. It's Tigner and Townend on the back straight. They now have another GT to contend with.
When's Rupee due for a pit stop?
I hope probably sometime around now, I would have thought, don't you think?
I would think it won't be too far away. Let me have a look back at his laps.
That's probably okay. So holding on this battle with Blake Townend whilst Rob checks to see when
he does 35 laps on a tank of fuel. So lap 70, he would be due to stop. I would have thought around lap 70, so 7 laps away. Yeah.
Another 7 laps to try and resist the pressure of Blake Townend here. Tick odds to the 1 hour and 40-minute mark in just a couple of minutes. And here comes Townend again to the inside. Going to force a mistake from the Finn in front. Blake's good at this. He's good at trying to just sit there on the rear wing. Whichever he's pressuring, he's looking to try and challenge Richie. Just try and force him into a mistake. And most of the time it worked, which effectively gives him a free pass into up the order. So we'll wait and see how this one plays out. With Anders Dahl not too far away, just keeping in tandem with these three.
He closed up loads on the brakes there.
Whilst the broadcast sticks with the TV camera, I'm going to go to the camera to see just how these cars are going to fare. They've got another McLaren in front of them. I think that's Tommaso Carla, the GT class leader. He actually heads to the pits, so class leader for GTs is for another stop.
Oh, mistake coming out the chicane, that's going to allow Italian and Anders Dahl possibly to get past. So one little small mistake there over the chicane could cost Roop 2 positions there, because Blake Townend has taken the lead, but I think Roop would just about hold on to second place. He does, and very, very late on the brakes they're going into turn 2, but it's a new leader, it's Blake Townend.
Great opportunistics as well, so great stuff from both Blake and also Anders Dahl. Fair play to them trying to capitalise on the mistake from Rupe there. Of course, that might.
Sorry.
Might be a sign that some Rupes are starting just to outstay their welcome.
No, but his brakes are getting hot. If you look, I don't know if you've seen this on this before, if Iano can zoom in on one of their cars as they go into heavy braking zones, you get a lovely disc glow on these cars, and it looks amazing.
Oh, got a GT car off at turns 8-9.
That's a DP.
Oh, it's a DP.
It's got a wing. It's prototype.
I'm still watching with the blimp, so I can't tell exactly who it is.
Nicola Roncelli, I believe it is, the number 14 car.
Nicola Roncelli.
Nicola Roncelli is not having the best of days. He's in 10th position. There's a couple of cars behind him, but a little bit of an off there for Nicola.
And have a guess who's got onto the back of... Oh no, he's not. Oh, for a second, that's on the back of...
Yeah, Mac Backham's on the back of Anders Dahl right now.
Oh, he is, yeah.
Oh, Anders Dahl pitting.
Dahl in.
Oh, Mac gets airborne. He took a lot of curb then.
The Matt Backham's starting to come towards the leaders now, so keep an eye on how this is going out.
Why did Anders pit? When was his last lap he pitted?
I think this is quite an interesting strategy
he pitted on lap 39, so he wasn't actually due.
I think he's gone for a bit of clean air as much as he can anyway in this sort of race, because he's been stuck behind Blake and Roop. Probably is not the best place to be, so be interesting to see if Anders Dahl's move will do any better, but will these two do any Formula 1 stuff? Will we see Blake or Roop maybe trying to cover that move off, I wonder, at the end of this lap?
I think this is his last stop, if I'm right. So he did 39 laps on the first tank of fuel. Looking at his laps. Lap 39 he did a 2:01, which would have been his fuel lap. So he's done another. He's short stinted the middle, and this should be his last stop to the end. This should see him to the end, roughly. If my mathematics are right, and they're probably not.
Well, we are now 1 hour and almost 42 minutes into this big round of
yeah, that's his last stop.
Season. It is his last stop, so of course that means Anders Dahl will go to the end. As I'm sure the rest of these three cars who are racing will do as well. Matt Backham closest back in on the two cars in front. We'll run down the order after now an hour and 42 minutes racing here at round one of the season 3 of the Neo Endurance series here on iRacing. Round one, the Montreal 250 at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, Canada, and it's currently once again a very close battle for the lead between the number 57, the car that took pole position of Blake Townend, and Rupert Tequila, the 36. Matt Backham once again charging back up to the tail of these two in third place in the 16. Anders Dahl, who's just pitted, is going to the end of the race, which you said he's now in 4th. With Amjad jamming the last car on the lead lap, well, not for much longer because he is not too far ahead of the leader, 5th position. Kevin Parrish, the first of the lap DPs in 6th, ahead of Niklas Helm in the number 9, who's actually right on his tail right now. In fact, there's been a change in fact, so Niklas Helm I think has got past Parrish. No, he hasn't. He hasn't got past him. He has now. Let's have a look. BB1. No, he hasn't. So I'm looking at a different car. Apologies, I'm all over the place. Parrish is still 6th. Helm is still 7th. Steve Hobbs in the number 30 is 8th. Arcadius Newman. Haven't really talked about him too much today. He's had a very quiet, subdued race, but in 9th position in the number 92. And Nicola Roncelli, who just went off a couple of laps ago up in turn 8 over the grass, rounds out the top 10 in the DPs, with just Vitz Salomon in the 66 and Frank Perry Jr. at the cars left in the DP class. In the GT category, current leader, it's been changing constantly. Current leader is in fact the number 233 of Maxime Ramsey, ahead of Patrick Valente Ferro in the 191 in 2nd place. Tommaso Carlo, who started on pole, is currently in the 3rd spot. And then in 4th place is going to be Kevin Beckmans, with Stefan Wieslar rounding out on 5. Jan-Paul Niequist making a car for his early troubles in P6. P7 in the GTs is Laura Dahlberg. P8 is Paolo Martins in the number 999. 9th is Wayne Sanderson. And rounding out the top 10, Timo Verhoest in the number 91. So the top 4 in GT are all on the same lap. And the top, it's now in fact this is now with the DPs, because Amjad Jami has now just been lapped, I believe. Yes, he has, by the race leaders.
Matt Backham's had a slowdown, I think. He's lost a bit more time, and he's not showing a last lap either on our timing screen. So I think if I Matt Backham, maybe a victim of a slowdown penalty.
Oh, he
He's
just spun
spins
it
in the
as well.
hairpin. He's drifted a bit too far. He's spoke about Arcadius Newman there, who we haven't really spoke much about, and he's actually quite close to the rear of the number 30 car, Steve Hobbs. So that's about for 7th place, which could be shaping up quite nicely between two drivers we haven't really spoken much about, Steve Hobbs and Arcadius Newman, who've both driven pretty concerted races so far, really. Very quiet, but they've not been, they kept out of trouble, and they're running in solid top 10 positions.
We are looking at the lead for the race. Or the race for the lead, I should say. Townend moves past. That must be Kevin Ramsey, and it is. It's also Repeated Killer moves past one of the other races.
That was past Mr. Vincenzo and Nico.
Yes, it was indeed. As Tequila now goes past also Maxime Ramstein, and also I think Ramstein's just pitted because, or he's pitted recently.
He has. He's just come out of pits, literally.
Yeah, so that means now Tommaso Carla is retains the lead in the number 2 McLaren. Now watching Backham, and I think Backham's pitted also because he's now 21 seconds back, so he's in the pits right now. So the 16 hits the stops. Well, I think the second time this race. So I'm not sure he will go to the end, but he leaves his box now.
And he's lost a lot of time because the car of Anders Dahl is coming now down under them. He's just about to come down in towards the. Is it the short chute? Yeah, he's come down towards the short chute now. But Anders Dahl's sideways. But Anders Dahl just coming up the short chute, and Matt Backham, who was running with him now, is quite a bit further back. So he's lost a lot of time.
He might have opted to have some of his optional repairs done because his car looks a bit shinier.
Which, to be fair, he does do quite a lot of those ones, I think, for all his adventures he's had today. if we're being honest. But nonetheless, still in P4, and I'm pretty sure if he puts his foot down, he can charge back up towards the cars in front. I'm sure he can do that. So we'll wait and see how that plays out. Gap's now 2.1 seconds between Town and Tequila. For the lead of the race.
Number 97's gone round. I saw on the side of the track there on the chute. So it's Frank Ferry Jr., who is our last running car. It seems like he's found himself in a little bit of a spot of bother. He's keeping well to the inside of the track. But Frank Ferry Jr. in a little bit of trouble there.
I thought the fog was coming down and I realised I need to clean my glasses. The wind has died down.
It has actually, yeah. The temperature stayed relatively the same, 63 degrees Fahrenheit, still pretty cloudy, but now the wind's gone back up again because it's now a northeasterly wind that's still 16 miles per hour, and the humidity I think has stayed around 72, so 72%. So, as we said, if this was actual kind of weather and wet weather like rain and such, then of course highly clear, more likely it's going to be there is going to be rain. But in
sorry to cut you off. Patrick Lantiferro is right on the gearbox of Mr. Ramstein for P2 in GT3.
Also, Root Tequila's come into the pits as well, so it's really interesting to see it comes out in relation to Anders Dahl. They're battling very, very closely before the round of pit stops comes in. And Anders Dahl, as Root Tequila stops those boxes, just coming down the back straight now. So our second place runner, Root Tequila, in the pits.
I think we've lost the hoist as well, one of the GT cars due to a crash. The hoist, even the hoist of nice and finds out of the race, it seems, after an incident.
It's going to be close on pit exit between Dahl and Tequila. Ooh, just sneaks out just in front. He's got to stay
and Dahl's going to get
it. We're going side by side.
Coming down in towards turn 3, Anders Dahl is just about going to hold on to it, but Root doesn't want to give up very easy, but in the end he decides maybe that is the best course of action for now, and he fought it, but Anders Dahl has made the position, so Anders Dahl is now up into second position.
So more
close racing.
It is more close, unpredictable racing here at Montreal. And of course, we should probably take a time quickly to thank our sponsors, mainly of course iRacing.com providing a fantastic racing service, and of course for Fanatec, who are our main sponsors for this season as well. And also something to tell you about, of course, is what we've got so far, sort of going on for this season, an incentive for some of the drivers out there, which is the Clean X award. This is awarded to the driver who has the least incidents in the race event, who also finishes at least 70% of their class. At least the actual statement says the driver who has at least incidents in this race event, who also finished is at least 70% behind or of their class leader, and will win the Clean X award. In case two drivers have the same amount of incidents, the driver with the highest finish position will win. If the finish position is also the same, we'll randomly draw the prize between these drivers. The winner will receive $10.
I think we should have a sideways award.
I think it's probably fair to say Matt Backer would clear contention for that one.
They definitely would mention, but I'm sure a few of the other drivers that would just use the noisy pedal a little bit more.
We have had one or two decent slides out there this afternoon, so it's not unlike these guys to get the back end out every now and then. Then they will do it if they're going to have a bit of fun. And of course, like I said, no one ever went quickly going sideways. Probably said no one ever, but there we go. As Townend continues to lead, he has now a 42. Is that correct? Yes, a 42-second advantage over Anders Dahl-Rupert Tequila in the battle for second. But of course, Townend yet to make what is sure to be his final stop, and I'm sure he'll make that in the next couple of laps. If I'm being honest.
Well, it'll be a shorter stop because we'll have to take less fuel. So he's going to spend less time in the pits.
Got a pass for as Nicolo Roncelli is in the pits, and he's just been passed on track, I think, just by Nicholas Helm. So Helm into P8 now.
Oh wow! Class. Was that Ramstein that just went off the track? No, it looked like his teammate. That was Chenoweth with the same car colours. I thought Ramstein had a excursion from the P2, but he didn't. I'm calm again now. I'm in my zen place.
Looks like he just ran a little deep into turn 6. Just watching his trying. If he did that to get out of the way of the of Blake Townend. So that's the reason why he went wide. So
that's mighty nice of Randolph. Well done, good driving.
Yeah, just went a little too wide little wide onto the runoff tarmac, the same spot where, of course, Sebastian Vettel gave up the win in 2011 in Canada in F1, which of course that race was won by Jenson Button, who at one point was at the back of the field in that really crazy race, which was of course red flagged for a couple of hours due to the heavy rain that they were suffering here in Canada. But still, we watched Blake.
How was your flight to Canada? Mine was average. The in-flight movie was junk. I don't appreciate the airline that Eggo and that put us on. It was terrible.
Mine was okay, but there was screaming kids, and I can't stand screaming kids. So I had to kind of put my headphones in and just kind of listen to whatever music I had on my iPhone, on my phone, just to try and drown it out in some ways. Let's have a look. We've heard that a DP car has spun ahead of Roop and between Anders and Roop at the moment. So let's see what that is. Oh, in fact, there it is. Just caught it there on my screen. And I think that's possibly that Vit Salomon. Yes, it was. Vit Salomon is the one that spun there. 66 of Vit Salomon, currently running in P10. He was the one that had the spin. He feels as though his car's running well enough to continue on. Doesn't head to the pits. As we've got a couple of cars falling in for stops. A couple of GT cars, I believe. No.
I heard Dan Blake made it crossing a pedalo.
Probably was a bit cheaper, but yeah, a bit more dangerous, shall we say, and pedaling.
I think it's safe to say that after managing that trip, I think it's safe to say that Dan's got like 200-pound thigh muscles now because of that, because it's taking a life out of his legs. So he's knackered but he's got very large leg muscles, I'm pretty sure, as a result of that. Tommaso slowed down at turn 4, so that's the GT leader. He was slowed down in turn 4. I'm sure that was probably just to let a few DP cars through, maybe. Maybe not.
So yeah, Valente Ferro is 3 car lengths back from Ramstein right now.
This is going to be pretty intriguing. This is the battle for second place. And the 191 of Patrick Valente Ferro making a comeback through the field after a shaky start. push on. We have got a P in the pits at the moment. That looks to me, is that the Frank Perry Jr. car? Yes, it is. So Frank Perry Jr. actually dropping now back behind the leading GT cars. In fact, he's down to 15th overall and 12th in the DP Club. At 16th, because every other cars are pouring past. Jan-Paul Niehuys will come across the line now. As next one through will be the Vigmans.
Has Blake stopped yet? He hasn't done his
Not
last pit
yet.
stop
Not yet. But I'm pretty sure he will do the next couple. Absolutely, I think he'll have to. So we now are approaching the final half an hour of opening round of the Neo Endurance Championship Season 3 on iRacing. Round 1 of 4 here, the Montreal 250. As we said, we've still got races at Road Atlanta, which of course Rob is taking part in, along with the 2.4 hours of Zolder.
I've got to qualify.
You've got to qualify as well.
Yeah, you've got to sign up, then you've got to pre-qualify, then you've got to qualify. It's hard to get one of these races. You've got to have a bag of talent. I've got to find one.
Perhaps you can do like GTA style, can I just go and do one from a shop somewhere?
No. Blake got a little sideways into turn 1 then. So sorry, turn 2. Still didn't go into the pits.
But it could be on the other foot then. I can give Rob custom stick and he won't actually hear what I'm saying, so...
Oh, I will.
Yeah, of course, we've got Road Atlanta, then we've got obviously the Petit Le Mans there as well, then we've got the Zold 2.4 hours, and then to cap it off in December 15th, it will be the season finale, the Bathurst 3 hours. And of course, we've said the class of car which are going to be racing are going to be different in each kind of, the combinations of cars are going to be slightly different. Going through to those races, of course, we've had the Riley Daytona prototypes and the McLarens in this race. Round 2 is going to be we're going to be with the HPD LMPs, the Corvette C6Rs and the 4GTs. It'll be LMP, GT1 and GT2. The Zolder race will be the McLarens, Electrical SR8s and the Mazda MX-5s. And then the Bathurst race will be 4 classes, the McLaren, 4GT, Cadillac CTS VR and the Kia Optima. So it's something a little bit more akin to what you'd find at somewhere like the Bathurst 12 hours. You've got the GT cars with the more kind of production / touring car based machines mixing amongst the top GT cars as well.
I'm surprised they didn't throw the big Aussie V8s in there. That'd be a laugh. At Bathurst.
That would have been quite fun, in fact. Because you know, Bathurst is effectively the spiritual home of the V8 supercar. So, but I guess they thought, oh, we've got enough V8s, so we'll kind of just.
They're a bit of a handful actually.
Hey, I'll tell you what though, with the recent sound updates, they do sound damn good. I think they're one of the finer sounding cars in.
Have you heard the Corvette yet?
I have heard the Corvette. That sounds good as well.
That's the best sounding car in the game.
Still, Blake Townend continues in the lead with a 41.7 second advantage over Anders Dahl. Rupert Tequila only half a second in third. Matt Backham a further. That is very close. In fact, I think Tequila might even have a chance to move through. Dahl hasn't? No, he hasn't. No, he's still just in front. Moving past one of the GT cars heading out. That looks to me as if it's possibly Maxime Ramstein. No, it's not. It's the other orange.
We are currently trending on to where everyone's loving the broadcast, linking it left, right, and centre. So we are worldwide on Twitter.
Excellent. Well, hello to everybody who's watching on the broadcast. Can you see how many we've got watching in the race at the moment?
I can. 1 second. I need to use my other device.
Because it'll be on the YouTube stream, of course, won't it? Of course, we are streaming on YouTube. So hello to everyone watching on YouTube. Hopefully you're enjoying the broadcast and hopefully enjoying the racing here, because it's been a fantastic run so far. In the almost 2 hours we've had here racing, still got just over half an hour to go. We are literally 1 minute and 15 seconds away from breaking the 2 hour mark in this 2.5 hour event. And of course we've got the Rileys and the McLarens out in force today.
I can't actually see how many people are watching on my thing. We've got 60 comments. Let's see what's going on. Because we've got... Apparently we missed contact with Mac in the GT car. That wouldn't surprise me. Egil Samfield, we think, has Blake been on a fuel-saving run? I don't know. Probably, knowing him.
I can tell you how many's watching, because I just see it on my little thing here. We've got 48 watching in this broadcast. So hello to all the 48 people who are watching in the YouTube
You can
chat.
supply us pizza at if you PM in from our address. I'd love a free pizza, thanks. I'm hungry.
Yeah,
or a bacon sandwich.
I'd go for a pizza as well. So Although technically I don't really need to because I've got a couple in the fridge. I could easily put in the oven, but then I want one now rather than wait for it. So anyway, enough to talk because I'll swipe a bug off my screen. Go away. Blake Townend still leads then and still get hit. He's coming down towards the pit lane now. Does he continue on? No, he carries on. He's perfectly happy on this.
He's been fuel saving, I think.
I think he has possibly. He's doing a job so far, and he's actually still keeping the gap consistent at 42 seconds. So Anders Dahl, who we missed that. Anders Dahl's got through past Rupe Tequila. The switch for second. Anders Dahl has got past Rupe Tequila and up into second position. Tequila down to third, and Backham not making any strides towards his teammate at the moment.
It'd be one to watch
towards third place. Sorry.
It'd be one to watch at Petit Le Mans though, because he is dynamite in a HPD.
So
an MP1 car.
So potential favourite?
2 car even. If you can keep it on the track, yeah.
I find that the HPD is not exactly the easiest car to get sideways compared to the Riley. The Riley's
I don't know.
well, I think that's more like a challenge for him. It's like, so I can't. You say I can't slide this HPD? Challenge accepted. And they'll probably just go ahead and do it. And it's like, you know, there you are, sideways HPD. You owe me $50. Moving on. We have passed the 2-hour mark now, so we're now into the final half an hour here at this opening round of the Euro Endurance Championship here at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal. Let's do a quick rundown of the top 10 in both classes. So overall leading and in DP.
Blake's pitting. I think Blake's pitting. He just come up on voice comms. Let's see. And then we can go to the rundown. He's coming down the back straight, heads into pit lane.
Yes, finally. Finally, Blake Townend
down to 60 Ks.
Very low grumble of that Riley engine. I'm not quite sure. Now, this one is they defaulted it as a Ford or a BMW engine? It seems like a Riley Ford they've got in this.
I don't know.
I think because it's got the bodywork plate that suggests that obviously the look of it like it's a BMW with the little lip on the front, which suggests that like the grill's like a BMW, but I'm not sure if it is or not. But anyway, Blake Townend hits his marks quite perfectly, and the team go to work. Now, Anders Dahl is already down the back straight with Rupe Tequila just behind in tow. This will be a relatively short stop, I would have thought. Oh, and Anders Dahl flying over the final curves at the final chicane. And Tannen's already left his pit box. This is going to be very close indeed, but I think that Tannen's done enough. Yes, he has. He's already exiting out through turn 2. And with a brilliant run of strategy and fuel saving, Blake Townend has resumed the lead.
Yeah, it's a fairly big lead still as well.
Now
Anders Dahl is stuck behind the number 9, Nicholas Hem at the moment. So Nicholas Hem is definitely compromising Anders Dahl this lap. He's been stuck behind him for quite a while now, and he still hasn't let him pass now. So finally he gets past, but now Rupe Tequila will probably find it a lot more easier to get past because he'll know that he's got the leaders coming across him, and indeed gets over to let Rupe pass. So lost some time there, did Anders Dahl behind the number 9, Nicholas Hem.
Now that Tannen's made his pit stop, go on, sorry.
I was going to say Daniel Benenfield has finally decided enough is enough and parked his Riley DP.
I'm pretty sure he did that quite a while ago, in fact. As is Frank Ferrigi. Frank Ferrigi is still running, so that's fine. Verhoist is out of the race, so is Fabio Gonzalez. So we're down to a 26-car field with still 12 Ds left in the running, and 14 McLarens. So definitely in some kind of race of attrition. We almost lost half the field, which is intriguing. But as now the pit stops have pretty much shaken themselves out, we can quickly do a rundown of the top 10 in both classes. So still leading overall after his pit stop and in the DP class is the number 57 of Blake Townend. And now what is now a 4.2 second advantage over Anders Dahl in second place. Rupe Tahl is a further 1.7 seconds back. Rupe Tequila, not Rupe Tahl, am I thinking? Rupe Tequila number 36 is now third with a 5.9 second gap to the leader. Matt Backham is now in fourth position. Phil. And the last of the cast lead lap. Kevin Parrish has worked his way up to position, number 24, ahead of Amjad Yamin. He's been caught by himself in this race, in sixth position. In the 84. In the seventh position is the 30-car Steve Hobb, which is about to be lapped for the second time by race leader Blake Townend. In eighth position is Nicholas Helm, who has just been lapped, the number 9 purple Fanatec car. Ninth is Arcadius Newman in the rather quiet and subdued number 22 machine. black and orange car. And then we've got the number 66 car of Vince Solomon, the white, red and black machine with inside sim racing sponsorship. At least on my screen, in fact, apologies if that's incorrect. In running out the top 10 with Niccolo Roncelli 11, 14, and then way down the order in 26th overall. Of course, trying to carve his way back past some of the GT cars. Frank Ferry Jr. in the 97. He is the GT category. It is still Tommaso Carla, and he leads now quite away from Patrick Valente Ferro in the 191, with Maxime Ramsey not too far behind. In fact, GT second and fourth has changed. Now, Ferro has got past Ramsey, as we said, so Ferro's second, Ramsey third, and Wiesler is not too far behind. In fact, he really is far behind. In fact, he's just let both. Looks to me as if that's Mac Backham and Amjad Yamin. Yes, Amjad Yamin is both of those guys through. And now also so has Maxime Ramstein doing that now. So of course, can't lose too much time, because of course he knows that Wiesler has seen it on his split on the relative time, that's going to happen. Looking now, the 60 number 20. Oh! Amjad Yamin has spun up at the final chicane. So crossed the tracks to get to going again. Rather safe return. Appears to be too many cars in front of it. I think that's Jan-Paul Niehuis, yes it is. As Wiesler has headed to pit road and stopped his box. The number 60 crew are going to work on that car. Quick rest of the top 10. Kevin Beekman's in the 88 is now in 6th position. 7th is number 999 and Paolo Martins. 8th in class GT is Terra Dahlberg in the 333. 9th is Vincenzo Amico in the 49, and 10th is Wayne Sanson in the number 25. There is the top both DP and GT with 2 hours and 6 minutes and 33 seconds gone. So we're now up towards the last 25 minutes of this opening round of the Neo Endurance Series.
We got 25 minutes to go. If I ever do that again, kill me. As Backham comes up to the back of Valente Ferro to hopefully get round is the GT car and catch whoever's in front. He's dropped back a bit, hasn't he? 29 seconds back.
Rob Cuss trying to get with the kids there. Anyway,
yeah.
Forwards.
not with the kids, because that's illegal.
Not, please, not in that respect. Come on, Rob. It's a family-friendly show. Or is it? Because it's only 20 to 9 over here in the UK. So let's have a look. Race control scene. They're leaning back and enjoying the great racing. No penalties for an hour and 10 minutes now. So after the scrum that was the first.
I think we should dish one out. Just give someone a penalty.
Just to spice things up. Your car looks funny, give you a penalty. I didn't do anything. Quiet you, go to the pits and serve it.
I think Rob Cuss will be on the list for a penalty after like gag.
Road Atlanta, no doubt I'll get a penalty for something.
In fact, they're probably listening, they're thinking, note to self, Rob Cuss, start from the pit lane. Anyway, moving forwards, Blake Townend still has the lead, surprising enough, by, really? Couldn't tell. By 4.4 seconds from Anders Dahl. With Rupert Tequila dropping back a further 6 seconds, but he's moving past GT traffic right now in the shape of, who's that? That's the, on my screen, that's a really brightly fluorescent pink, blue, kind of cyan and black car, and that's definitely going to be, to me, that's not Rick Cortland, that's actually now instead Jerry Vaituk. Or, yeah. He is currently running class, if I look at the standings, he's running 13th in the GT McLaren class.
I think the McLarens are now coming in for their last stops, because I think Patrick pitted on his last lap. I'm not quite sure. He dropped a few. Yeah, he pitted on his last lap. So the McLarens must have another pit stop, which will spice things up a little bit.
He's obviously pitted recently. Looking back at his
laps.
He
literally just pitted last lap too.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So they've got another, because I know they're running with 70 litres, I think, or something fuel. They're running slightly limited fuel. So, yeah, look for pit stops in the McLarens, because Valente Ferro was running at second. He's now P4.
I have a feeling that Anders Dahl is now starting to close in the gap to Blake Townend, possibly just the fact that he's had to come through traffic, because like that time last time around. 130.2 Blake Townend and 29.9 Van Staal. He's now got to negotiate another one of the GT cars in lap traffic. That's the treble 3. That's Tero Dahlberg then in front of him. Indeed it is. Rupert Killer's actually dropped now. The gap's down 10 seconds. Well, he's made a mistake somewhere. I'm not sure. He's now on the back of the number 9 of Nicholas Helm. That's the, at least on my screen, apologies if it's wrong, on my screen is the purple number 9 car from the Fanatec sponsorship. And down towards... as they go. And of course, Nicholas Helm will have to give way on the exit of turn 2, which I'm sure he will pull to the side and do so. Not quite. A bit squirrely on the exit of turn 2. Looking to oblige to Killer's pressure this much, that easily. Hopefully he should see the blue flags in a second. Hope he does, because otherwise that will give race control excuse to give a penalty for ignoring blue flags.
The battle here in the GT is between Patrick Valente-Ferro and Kevin Viekemans. They're fighting for 4th overall, and Viekemans right on the rear of the car of Patrick Valente-Ferro has come down into the hairpin. So, as we say, the McLaren's coming into the last phase of the race now with their fuel stops, and Viekemans is trying to get position up on Patrick Valente-Ferro.
I'm still watching Rupert Akilla. He hasn't managed to get past Nicholas Helm yet. In fact, he still can't now towards the hairpin. So back there you go. Helmet, that was probably a purpose for that braking manoeuvre there from Helm to give him the room. A small twitch of oversteer on the exit, and Tequila's away. But he's lost value.
Ferro's gone across the chicane. That battle we were talking about before. Patrick Valente-Ferro and Kevin Viekemans. Ferro went across the chicane, and Viekemans, in fact, has got to slow down as well. So both cars there, and that's giving out a chance for Stefan Mujla to get involved in the action as well. Mujla was behind these two, and they both took the last chicane wrong and slowed down. And Stefan Mujla now right at the back of Kevin Viekemans in the GT class.
Battle's hotting up then. This is over, of course, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. They've now got to contend with Anderson, who's now right at the back of them to try and get past, and that's put another lap on these guys. The GT cars are about to go 6 laps down, of course, because the leaders are starting to carve their way through at this point. Once again. And again, Anderson, it's his turn to get held up, but not by too much, because of course the power difference between the Riley DP and the McLaren is substantial enough to make sure he gets past both McLarens into turns 8 and 9, so he gets the job done quickly. And we are moving towards the final 15 minutes now of this race. So of course, if these McLarens are coming in for their final top splash and dash, they're going to have to do it soon. And as for the DPs, to try and push forward in order to make those little impacts in the lead. And what's intriguing is that Dahl is still closing in bit by bit on Blake Townend. He's got, I'm not sure how much time he's going to have enough time to close in. The gap's 3.9 seconds. Now Turner's just moved past. I think that's the class leader. Yes, no, it's 2nd place. That was Tommaso Carla. No, it's not. It's Wayne Sanderson. That's it. Wayne Sanderson just on lap 25. So what's the gap for these time around? So Townend's lap was a, what was it? 30.7. Dahl's was a 34. So 3/10 up. The gap is now 3.6 seconds now. A small touch of oversteer from Dahl, but he gets to keep his car pointing in the right direction. Continues his chase after the race leader.
How long's left on the race clock? How long have we got left?
It's under 70, but now I'm reading it now 16 minutes 45 seconds. And we're getting closer and closer to the end.
We are reaching our...
Dahl got almost a little bit held at Anderson there, but Anderson quickly jumped out of the way and allowed 2nd place bound through. Dahl up to a speed of almost 150 miles an hour.
Ramstein is leading GT2. 3, sorry.
He is indeed. I think we've got.
But he must be due a pit stop, surely.
He must be. I'm surprised he was not winning this time around.
Oh, look. No,
carries on. Carries on. He's comfortable for the moment. And I'm pretty sure that these guys are not even going to take tyres. They'll probably think, right, last 10 minutes, splash and dash, lighter fuel load won't hurt the tyres too much. So
is he in with the McLaren? Can you fuel save? I can't remember.
I don't know personally.
I think you can. Can you not change the engine map? I'm pretty sure you can. I wonder if he's been hanging back fuel save.
Might get an answer from race control in a second.
Who knows?
Apparently, Jarno and Cameron should change fuel.
You can.
You can.
I wonder if he's been sitting back and decided, you know what? I can tone the engine down a little bit and still carry the speed, you know, and just fuel save. He's only got 15 minutes to go, so it's only 7 laps.
Just seen a slow down penalty for Kevin Beacom that's just been handed out. I'm sure again for taking too much curb through the final chicane. He currently still runs in P5, but he'll have to give up track position at least. And then second to Nicholas Helm in the number 9 Daytona prototype. So that will be resolved very quickly, and Helm pulls to the inside towards turn 6. And simple as you like, that puts another lap on number 88 McLaren. And the gap at the front is quick, he's back up to 3.9 seconds again. So it hasn't really closed in that much, but of course it's extended again by another 0.3. Rupe Tequila is still 4.1 seconds off the lead and some 11 seconds back. 11.2 seconds it seems on Dahl, with Mac Backham a further 30 seconds. He's 44 seconds off the lead. So obviously he's still carrying damage after his earlier excursions with the drivers and into Montreal's walls.
At least he's going to finish, make a change.
I'm guessing he has a reputation of not finishing. Just what you said there.
He's one of these. When I say Kobayashi, he's Grosjean as well.
Right.
Because he's fast. He can jump in any car. But he just has a brain fart now and again and ends up in a war.
In some ways that sounds like another sim racer that I know who races more with his heart than his head and gets himself into races in these situations, but
I know a few of them.
Yeah. But he's one of the quickest sim racers I've seen on outright pace, but he lacks the consistency and the more level head compared to his main rivals in the leagues he races in. And that result of that's why he's not a champion. He hasn't won more races compared to his main rival.
I think you should get those boys to come and play iRacing.
Well, possibly. I think Rob might know in some cases who I might be talking about, but I've talked about them before. But apart from that, we'll settle that one. I think one of them should come to iRacing because it'll definitely have a positive impact for everyone. I mean that in the nicest possible way. Anyway, after that cryptic session of guessing who's who, Anders Dahl is now closed the gap in to 3.3 seconds this time. So lap starts time around, it was a 30.4 for the end, 29.7 for Anders Dahl, and again, Dahl riding those curbs like anything. Laps this time around, 30.0 for Townend, and a 30.0 as well for Dahl. In fact, that's how close it was. The difference between Townend and Dahl's lap times was literally 0.003 of a second. That was pretty much almost an identical lap time from both, so which is going to be hard to do for both drivers to set exactly the same lap time.
And after 2 hours, 17 minutes and 45 seconds, they're 3 seconds apart. Take that, Formula 1.
Absolutely. Maxime Ramstein is still leading the GT category. I think you're right. I think he might be going to the end here in these last 13 minutes. That fuel saving he's probably been doing in the beginning or middle of the stint seems to have definitely paid off because he's now holding a nice steady gap. I think it's like Tommaso Carla. Carla is... I mean,
well, the other option is he's completely screwed his strategy up and he's going to have to splash and dash.
What's intriguing is that looking at a lap time comparison, it was a 1:36.2 for Ramstein compared to a 35.0 for Carl. So Carl's catching by the rate of somewhat about just over a second a lap. In fact, he's now having to let both the overall and DP leaders through, which is of course Blake Townend.
No, it wasn't fuel saving. He's in.
He is
into the pit lane.
So
his strategy,
it's backfired.
Yeah, he needs a really fast splash and dash. So no tyres. He's frantically on the radio going, no tyres, just put some fuel in it.
Just get me out there quick.
Yeah, fuel goes in. He's just fuel in. Is he going yet? Where's the other guys? Man, that's a long stop for a splash and dash.
Ferro's just come across that last chicane now.
He's out now, so where's this going to put him?
He's
leaving.
Class.
Yeah, he's
very
not
close.
Well, no. Vero's passed, which means Carla's gone past Ion.
Yeah, no, he has. Yeah, he's got it. The Ramstein haven't set up for now for. Could he be? Well, I'll say could he be fourth? But no, he'll get out just in front of Wiesler. But yes, he will. There he goes. Yeah. And Wiesler set up fourth. Of course, remember then, Ferro is, of course, no, sorry.
Nikui behind's gone off for a little trip across the grass, just coming back on now at the exit of turn 2. So, jump
has.
on Nikui, gone off again. Vikeman's in the pits as well, in the number 88 car in the McLaren. So, Kevin Vikeman's making a late pit stop there as well.
And beat Solomon as well in the 66 in the DP class, 11th in class and 11th overall. And I will say something, it's still coming down between first and second. It's 2.799 seconds now between Townend and Dahl. Because again, Dahl was half a second ago.
And Blake Townend has probably not taken the last corner there as he'd like to have done. He's probably lost a couple of tenths there as well. So I think you'll find the gap gone down even lower this time round.
And it's 2.2 seconds. So we're inside the last 10 minutes, just 9.5 minutes to go. Could we see a late change from the lead boys?
No.
No? Don't think so?
No.
Very, very confident there, Rob. And in fact, we've actually got
I have to be. I've got to believe my teammate, haven't I? Oh, his bow gets proper sideways. That was awesome. Through the wall of championship game, full on opposite lock, booted it to save it. Very good.
It might also be worth reminding you boys that the actual elapsed time isn't the race time. The race time is actually 2 minutes 17, well 2 hours 17 minutes even.
Of course.
That means we've actually got about another 2 laps out of this race than you think. So Anders
That's
Dahl
all right.
creep a little bit more closer, but we've still got about 13 minutes left of this race to go, and it's still not clear who's going to win yet, in my opinion.
Well, I did ask what the race clock was, Dan, and you went all quiet. So why didn't you say something? You made me look silly now, and Scott, we both look silly because of you.
The reason why we were looking at the elapsed time, not the actual race time on the all classes thing, that's the reason why we're being we were being clots, but there you go. Let's have a look. Yeah, 11 minutes 15 seconds to go then, so that's absolutely fine. So we've got a couple more laps left in this race. And let's see what this time. It looks to me that he's got plenty of clean air and no cars around him on this lap.
He's got a car right in front of him. He's got a McLaren right in front of him. He's got your.
I'm looking at the replay. That's my fault, bad.
You've got to get used. You've got to get used to this broadcast software. It's terrible.
Yeah. The gap's up to 2.5 seconds. So Tandem finds another 3/10, and that's last lap time around.
He needs to clear Yuri right now, which he's done.
Quick. Yeah, but Yuri does break the force over. That's good driving.
And then Yuri might slow Anders down a little bit, which he does. It's handy.
I don't think he's compromising too much, just a tiny bit on the exit, I think.
That would have been the entrance as well, because don't forget the closing speed, so Anders would have had to get on the brakes a little bit earlier, that's all. All tenths. We're talking tenths, we're not talking anything else.
Absolutely. Rupe Tequila still in third place. Almost forgotten about him after his earlier shenanigans up at the front, but having to settle for a third place on the podium, it seems, unless things don't go his way, turn out his way. Mac Backham down in fourth, 34 seconds off of third place, and 47 second overall back on Blake Townend. Of course, the only car left on the lead lap. The last of the cars left on the lead lap, because the top 4 are the only guys that are actually still on the same lap as the leader Blake Townend as he comes across the line to lap.
That DP in front of looks very bent. The right of that car looks horrific.
That's Nicola Roncelli's rather bent and battered looking DP. He moves out the way.
He gets out of the way.
He should do in a second. He's to the inside.
Yeah,
there he goes.
Good driving.
Yeah, well done, Nicolo. Good job.
Grazie.
Grazie.
Molto bene.
Andres Dahl will now cross the Italian in a moment. And now we're inside the last 10 minutes. Oh, what a huge slide from Dahl again on the exit 7. Oh, that was almost kind of like the same kind of slide that Igwe's had like outside the final corner. I actually looked back and watched that. That was a very impressive and well-held slide by Igwe's. Keep that car pointing in the right direction. That's where oversteer, like 70s F1 style.
But you can race a Lotus 79 on this service, and it's immense. Full-on ground effects, fully pin it to win it style. It's great.
And the 49X, which was recently released as well.
Oh, that's a toothpick death trap. That car.
But then, of course, if you fancy something a bit more modern for into a single seaters, you can drive something like the Star Mazda or the Skip Barber car, or even the Indy car if you like, the previous Indy car, the previous Delara chassis Indy car. Or if you really want to test yourself, you can have a go in the 2009 Williams FW29. I think it's 29.
31.
31. FW31. I did think 31, but I wasn't sure. So FW31 with Toyota power. And again, Dahl oversteering as he locks the rears under brakes for turn 1. And again sliding about and hits into it well, so maybe he's better than this side a little bit. And actually in front, Blake Townend's being held up by one of the McLarens on the
Kevin
exit 3 and 4.
Beekman. Number 88, that is a Kevin Beekman who's not long been out the pits.
Why do drivers do that, right? Quicker car, you just come out the pits, and then you try and race someone. Just let off the throttle, let him pass, and then just fall in behind him. You won't lose as much time. I don't get that.
Another twitch of oversteer from Andrew Stahl. I think he can sense the fact that it must be so agonising for a driver like him in his position. All the fact that he can see Townend just in front of him. The race victory is just in front of him, but he's just out of reach at the same time. It's just so agonising. As we've now got Ferro on Wieslar, and that would have been for second and third. Where's Wieslar gone? Wieslar's way back.
Way back.
He's just overtaken Maxi Ramstein, I think, because
there we go.
That's now to overtake the third position between Muslar and Ramsey, because as you said, Patrick Valente Ferro is quite a way in front, and yeah, is that back to battle we're focusing on. It's like Stefan Muslar and Maxim Ramstein.
What did I say after Patrick's damage? Fought his way back, didn't I? Isn't going to quite win it though, sadly, because I think Tommaso has been the class of the GT3 field by a mile.
I'll tell you something, that which Townend experienced with Beekmans has really made an effect, because the gap's come down. One lap from 2.2 to practically 1.6 seconds. 6 tenths he took out of Townend there, and he's still got some 6.5 minutes, about some 7.5 minutes left, 6.5 minutes left to go. So if he keeps on pushing, see, you can tell he's using a hell of a lot of the concrete mounds on the inside of the final chicane, and hanging the tail out of that DP out a lot more than you would expect Townend to do. Here again, he's being bulked by a GT car, and all this is playing into the hands of Townend. He needs to clear these cars as quick as possible.
What is that car doing?
He gets squeezed. Oh dear, he gets squeezed on the exit. That's only going to help.
That DP got way out of the way.
that was the 66 of Vince Solomon. I think he's actually been in the pits for quite a while, repairing some damage. It must have been. And look at that. Compared to the fortunes there, Dahl got past that lapped car pretty easily, and the gap got pretty short. It's less than a second.
With endurance racing, it all balances out in the end. I mean, you will catch traffic in bad places. It will. Was there a car backwards in all the champions?
Yes, there was.
Yes, there was.
That was. See, I think it's
Who suffered
Kevin
from a lack
Parrish?
of talent this time?
No, it's not Kevin Parrish. It's not Parrish. Hold on, I'm trying to find who it is. I think it's Frank Ferry Jr. Yeah, Frank Ferry Jr. in the 97. Still recovering. There we go. Got it going again.
So, race clock, 7 minutes roughly, just under 7 minutes left.
Less than that. In fact, I think it's now 5 minutes. In fact, looking at it. And I think that Frank Ferry's damaged the suspension on that 97 car, because he's weaving about to try and see how it feels. He's on the ground, yeah, but he's calling it a day. He's out of the race with 5 minutes to go. That car is probably damaged from repair, and we've lost another DP. He's in the pit. In fact, that might be his fast tow. In fact, I think he's used his fast tow, and he's now going to go ahead and close in and try and go for the last few minutes of the race with a fresh car. Now, back to the battle for the lead. It's now under a second, 0.8 of a second between Townend and Dahl. But Dahl has now, well, the one thing he hasn't had in the past couple of laps, which is clean air. But you can tell Dahl pushing as hard as he dares, because he's been launching himself over those curbs at the final chicane, lap after lap, and really closing in. I don't think they're going to reach just about less than... I think they're not going to make the laps. We're going to make about 97 or 98, I would have thought, maybe 99, depending. But let's see. If you compare the lines between Blake and Anders takes a sideways on the exit. That is how hard he's pushing to try and close in this gap. What a grandstand finish we have at the end of this opening round of the Neo Endurance Series. Now look at this. We're now coming towards the last 3.5 minutes. The gap's gone back up to a second. what a way to finish to round out this first round of the championship.
So 3.5 minutes, 2 laps? No, 3 laps.
About 3 laps possibly.
Woo, Blake gets a little sideways.
This is going to be tense.
Nah, it'll be alright. Andy's got to catch him, then he's got to try and pass him.
Well, you know what Murray Walker said, catching's one thing, so certainly another.
Exactly, exactly.
We'll wait and see. But I'm sure Blake Tanner will be looking constantly in his mirrors, thinking, where on earth is Anders Dahl? To see the relative time difference on his display, he'll know that Anders is coming and quick. Back with the GT cars quick. And Tommaso Carla is still leading from Patrick Valente Ferro. And Ferro's the gap to Wieslar now to a couple of seconds. Ramstein's down to 4th and stuck behind a lapped car, lap traffic, and actually he's falling to clutches of Jan-Paul Niehuys. Could be a change for P4 in the GT class in the dying minutes. And a bit Solomon, in fact, actually trying to reach his way back through. He's now trying to get around a lapped car. That's probably... Who is
Anders
that?
Dahl was
That's
quick through the last chicane then. That was mighty through there.
Once again. And it's now... Oh, it's down to 9/10 of a second. It's looking too close. The call on this one. We're going to get one more. End of this lap and then one more.
Oh, they both make a mistake coming out of turn 2. They both get it all kinds of sideways.
Pressure's on between these two. Townsend to hold on to the lead and Dahl to try and close in and take it from him. With now less than 2 minutes to go in this opening round of the Year Endurance Series. We've had Riley's and McLaren's today at this opening race at Montreal 250 on the circuit Gilles Villeneuve. 2.5 hours of racing, and it all comes down to this. Leading pair separated by less than a second. It's Townsend versus Dahl for the race victory to take the points advantage into the next round at Road Atlanta.
And there's a lot of traffic as well in front of them. I think it's about 3 or 4 McLarens could in this last lap change the complexion of this race, mate.
And is that our McLaren leaders as well?
And they're scrapping. Oh, contact! They're scrapping amongst themselves. A huge pack now. That was who was that? That was a white car. I think that was up to 25.
Oh wow, there's carnage up.
There's huge. Oh my goodness. I think Blake Tander is looking at that and thinking, how the hell
am
I
no,
going to get through
our
this?
GT3 leader has got a technical issue. He's just dropped.
Oh no! He has
out
dropped.
Of the race.
No, Patrick, and it's close for the leader of GTs as well, because Ferro's been closed by Wieslar.
Here comes Anders
there's cars everywhere. Oh, Anders Dahl sideways.
Oh through the middle.
Oh, this can go so wrong.
We're going to get the white flag surely to the line. Yes, white flag. Last
on
lap
the
of the
brakes.
race.
Oh,
On the brakes,
Anders Dahl gets it all kind of crossed up.
Tannen closing in. It's getting tense. They're going to have to make their way through traffic. And blue flags are waving furiously. This is for the lead of the race and for the DP class. This is for the overall victory. We're going to have to watch out for the GT class. Tannen bumped again. Oh, and Dahl's all over the back of it. You can sense the victory. You can see it. Maybe the chance to turn 6 steps to the last of late breakers down towards here.
Oh wow, there's traffic everywhere. There's traffic everywhere.
Dahl is blocked. And then gets through.
Dahl has to go the wrong way around.
He does it a little bit wide on the curve. This is getting very tense. Half a lap to go. Towner makes his way past another lapped car. That's the Wayne Sanderson. Oh, close. Oh, and that's too close, Landers. Don't do that.
Taro Delberg has been lap flagged for avoidable contact in lap 90, turn 10.
And I think, gentlemen, it's done because I can't see Dahl getting back past here. Oh, and behind!
That
Wayne
was
Sanderson.
Vincenzo and Miko getting a bit squirrely.
Oh dear. And a pass for the lead in the GTs. Out the final chicane, Wieslar takes the lead before the start of the final lap. For the GTs, lap out Sunbury on, but down the back straight for the final time. Dahl came close, all going to come for Blake Tannen, taking pole, losing it in the end, but coming back through to win an incredible opening race towards the checkered flag. It's Blake Tannen in the 57th Riley DP
What a
the
race.
victory. What a race indeed.
A race. Hang on anyway. Well done guys. Let's go to GT3.
Indeed.
Slow down. He's out of fuel.
Oh, he's stopping.
He's stopping. Is he out of fuel? He tried to stretch the fuel.
He must be. Oh, that's heartbreak. With a lap to go.
Or has he won? No. Or did he cross the line?
No, I don't think he did.
No, he was before Riley, so that means that Patrick Valente Ferro is going to take victory.
He's in the lead. No, he's in the lead. Don't say he's going to win, because we don't know yet.
I'm not sure. There was that. I'm quite confused because I think Valente is in the lead now. I think Valente Ferro does have the lead. He is the leader. Ramstein's not too far away, closing in, and Niequist is not too far away either.
What happened to Montreal then?
I think he's run out of fuel.
No. The race is over, man. There's cars going past Patrick and stuff as well.
Even that, he's low on fuel and trying to short shift out. He's running dangerously low on fuel to try and get the car to the end of the finish, end of the race.
Yeah, but Ramstein's just behind him.
I don't think these GT3s have completed the race. I think that.
No, they haven't. Are you sure they haven't?
No, because the GT3 cars were ahead.
And here comes Maxim Ramstein, if they're level fuel.
No, they have. Are you sure?
They're coming around to finish now.
They're finishing
it's
now.
The last call. There's a car going to the wall. And Ramstein's done it! And it's done! He's done it! He's gone past Patrick Valente Ferro, who's out of fuel. And literally 100
They're all out of
meters.
fuel. Muselar! Oh, Muselar! No, did he get third? He did get third. Muselar stole third from Jean-Paul Niequist on the line. They all ran out of fuel. That was an incredible finish. So Maxime Ramstein on the pit straight takes the victory in GC class. Patrick Valente Ferro with no fuel.
Right
Patrick Valente Ferro takes second place, and Stefan Muselar, who was fuel saving, I think, on the last lap, had to give up the win. But he just took third place on the line from Niequist. I have to rewind and look back at that in slow mo. I need to see exactly how close Muselar took that by. If we can get replays of that, that'll be incredible. And my iRacing's now frozen up a little bit, so hopefully it'll sort itself out. But gentlemen, in both classes, what a finish to that race! That was absolutely incredible, absolutely stunning stuff. I'm surprised we've still got voices left. That was absolutely fantastic. But too far forward. iRacing thing's freezing. But I'm trying to get the look at exactly just how close. How close Niequist was getting across the line. Let's have a look. Oh, that one was I need to look at that from a different angle from above. Rear chase, rear chase. I want to look at that in slow motion. Now, how close was he across the line to that? Oh, I don't know, because it looks to me, across the line, it looks as though that Niequist was the first one of us. But it's classifying.
I have no idea.
It's classifying Muselar. Unless I don't think Niequist was a lap. It's classifying Muselar in third. That's rather confusing. But anyway, what a finish! First race of the championship, and it's Blake Tanner who takes the victory by 3.3 seconds from Anders Dahl, who came close, not close enough. Couldn't quite take it in the end. Rupe Tequila, who ran up at the front, ran up practically all day, has to settle for third. With Matt Backham, the very flamboyant Matt Backham, has set back in fourth, a minute behind the leader. Then Amjad Yamin in fifth, the number 84 DP. Kevin Parrish in sixth, in the 24. Steve Hobbs in the 37th, with Nicholas Helm in the number 9 car. Arcadius Newman 9th in the 92. And Nicolo Roncelli in number 40, rounding out the top 10 overall and in the DPs. Winning the GT class on the pit straight, Maxime Ramstein. What a fantastic victory for him to kick off his GT campaign, with Patrick Valente Ferro second and Stefan Muselar classified third, with Jean-Paul Niequist in fourth. Have a look. Then we've got classified in 15th Reed Solomon in the 15 car. 16th we then had Kevin Viekemans, 5th in GT. 6th in GT was Paolo Martins. Then Wes Anderson, number 25. The 49 of Vincenzo Amico. And then Dennis Garrison, the 00. Tommaso Carla, who was leading the race until the very couple of laps, had a technical issue and dropped out from the lead, but has to be classified 21st. And that looks to be that 10th class. Yes.
And we do have some people standing by for interviews. We have our first and second.
It's pretty crazy.
There we go. Hi, Blake. Well done.
Congratulations.
P1, what a drive. Bring Anders in here as well, Yano. Get everyone in.
Yeah. So we're going to have now a chat then with our incredibly hard. What a finish. So first we're going to have a chat to Blake Townend. And Blake, starting from pole, brilliant victory. But just talk us through the last couple of laps, because that was. Just talk us through your mind of what exactly was going through your head when you saw that pack of GT cars. You must have thought, "Oh no, not this! Not on my last lap."
Yeah, I felt like I was gonna lose it right on the last lap, and just the last stint, I was struggling for pace. I don't know whether it was to do with the wind, because I think the wind was catching so many people out on the last stint. I had a DP going to Champions Wall. I was trying to get around a McLaren, and kind of I was going to go where he was, so I had to back out of that, and yeah, all this was losing me valuable time towards the end, and I was just praying that I could hold it off right to the end, because Andreas seemed to nail the chicane perfectly, the last chicane that is, and I was just so nervous about going through
Anders
that.
was mighty through that chicane, mighty.
And very lucky as well.
Yeah, for several laps.
He got proper sideways a couple of times, didn't he, buddy?
He did, because obviously we were watching that, and that was like every single lap. Anders, we'll talk to you for a second now. Every single lap, you just launch yourself over those curbs, and a couple of times getting sideways. So we could definitely tell you were pushing, but in the end, you just missed out.
Yeah. Anders, what did you rate on that race? It weren't bad for 2.5 hours to finish out. What was it, a second, 2 seconds behind Blake? It was crazy.
Yeah, I'm irritated. because I lost it on, I think, the 12th lap. I lost it after taking the lead, and then it was just pushing. And then I realized I had like 3 laps too much fuel. So maybe if I did my calculations properly, I could have been closer to Blake in the end.
Blake, did you save fuel, buddy? Did you have a bit of a fuel saving run in the middle stint? It seemed like it to us.
No. I mean, I was short shifting to the third light on most occasions on my gear shifts to prevent any engine damage, but no fuel save. Just I guess there are moments when it's so easy to lose rhythm with traffic, and then the wind direction and the speed of it, you're not really too sure what way it's going to go. So like the last chicane and turn 1, it's just a nightmare, and you're really pushing your luck getting the car sideways. And during the race I had many moments and 2 black flag slowdowns, which obviously cost a lot of time.
Everyone had those. It's crazy, but you guys put on a real show, you and Anders. So massive well done. Unlucky Anders, not quite radical enough today to take the victory from my buddy.
It was great battles with Max.
Yeah. Where is back? I mean, not in it. What's going on? But yeah, massive well done to you two. Like,
Absolutely.
Anyone you want to thank while you're here and on air?
Yes, please. I'd just like to thank Steel Series for the great support. It's always nice to have a sponsor, but to have a sponsor on board that it's very supportive. Likewise, Team Radicals as well. They gave me a really good set, and in the end I managed to get the win. So thank you to every single one from Radical.
Woo. Cool. Now bring me around a pizza. Yeah, well done, Anders. What about you? Anything to say?
Just the organisers.
Just the organisers. What are those sponsors to thank, Anders?
Yeah, also, they also did a good job.
Yeah, thank you, Nia. Great.
Yeah, the boys put on a great event. Right, standing by, we have Maxim Ramstein.
We do indeed. Maxim, let's talk through that. You left for the last few minutes, they had to pit, but when you pitted, did you ever expect to finish like that? Because you caught the last guys and you took the victory literally on the pit straight. How did that feel to snatch it away right over there?
Well, to be honest with you, I still don't understand exactly what happened. I did not expect to win at all.
Apparently, we had some drivers running out of fuel on the last lap, so that's the way in which you were able to take the victory. So obviously that splash and dash seemed to serve you well.
Yeah, apparently I almost slanted in the back of him, but managed to go around him. I really feel bad for Tommaso though, he should have won.
Very unlucky. But just talk us through your race from your point of view, because you were always up around in the top 5 at many points. So you qualified in the top 5 as well. So you're always up there. So does it give you confidence going towards the remaining 3 rounds of the championship?
It sure does give me confidence. I did not expect to do so well actually. The chaos in turn 1 was kind of a bummer. I had to cut over the grass and had a very long slowdown penalty, so I was like 8th or something, but managed to overtake a lot of guys, and apparently a lot of had damage as well, so they made a pit stop. And yeah, I just drove my own race, I guess.
And also very quickly, of course, we're going forwards into the next round at the Road Atlanta. Any ideas of which car you're going to be taking? Because of course you've got a choice of the HPD, the Ford, and the Corvette. Any ideas of what you're going to be going for?
I think I might drive the Corvette. I really like that car actually.
Excellent stuff. Well, congratulations to Maxime Ramstein yourself for a brilliant win and just snatching it at the death. A great job for him. What I'll do, I'll hand over to Rob, because I think Rob, your favourite person of the day has just popped into the broadcast booth here to have a chat with us. It's your friend Mac Backham.
No, I was actually going to. No, I don't want to talk to Mac. I talk to him enough. I was actually going to speak to Patrick because he finished 2nd in GT3. Mac can wait. Patrick, that was a pretty good drive from quite a way back because you had a bit of an incident in the early laps. So you actually drove a stunning race to get all the way back, and I thought you were on for the win, but your fuel strategy didn't quite work out, did it, buddy?
Yeah, correct. I had an early damage in the first lap, so I'm falling back, and before my last pit stop I get in trouble again and had damage for the rest of the race. So I pit early to hope my damage will fix, but it doesn't, and in this all trouble I put 2 clicks too less fuel with me in the last pit stop and had to save it all to the end, like always, like all the last hosted events, which I did.
We need to work on your pit strategy, bud. We'll have to sit down and do some calculations and all that. But it was still a great drive, buddy. But Maxime just done you. I mean, Tommaso, did anyone have the pace to catch him, really? I mean, he got really unlucky with his disconnect, obviously, but he was fast. What can you do in the next few rounds to try and catch that man?
Well, I really have no idea. I think he's way too fast for all of us, actually. But I kind of feel bad for taking the win. He definitely should have won.
It happens. It does happen in racing. We've seen it. We've seen Vettel and that in F1 not finish while leading by a mile. So it happens. But he did drive a brilliant race. So if you are listening to Marso, unlucky, buddy, but you know, that's racing. But I'm sure you'll be back. But yeah, well done you guys. It's awesome. Backham, how did you not put it in the wall?
I don't know. It was looking like I was going to put it in the wall multiple times. I actually did hit the wall with 1 lap to go, but that was more because I couldn't really be bothered anymore after my pole race. So
it looked tiring. You were sideways a lot of the time. How do you think if you didn't slide the car around so much, you might be a little bit quicker?
Yeah.
Cool. So it's something to work on. I presume you're driving the HPD at Road Atlanta, right?
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. What do you reckon chances are there? If you don't crash, you could be on the shout for winning. Bin it or win it. Oh dear. And if there's a gap, would you go for it?
Yeah, 100%.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Matt Backham. 4th place in the DP. Not bad for an HPD driver in a DP. And I believe we have Randolph standing by. So we're going to interview him because he said he didn't want to be interviewed. So I'll let Scott do that.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, that's
hello,
fine. Hello. For you managed to finish up in the McLaren class. Where did you finish? You finished in 12th overall.
Yep, 12th.
And a couple of excursions off on track today. Apart from that, just talk us through your race from your point of view briefly.
I was never really comfortable with the car. I don't really drive the McLaren that much, so and the track was pretty slick, so it was a lot of just kind of cruising around. Didn't really push for the first stint. The last stint, I was gonna push and try to push Dennis and try to get by him. Didn't get a chance though because it seemed like everybody just bunched up right at the end of the race. It seemed like every battle was in the same part of the track for the last 2 laps. It was pretty insane. Traffic wasn't for the DPs. I thought were fairly patient. I think at the start they weren't a little impatient, and then they realized, okay, this is a bad idea, and then calmed down. It was a lot of fun.
Are you hoping, of course, in the next round at Road Atlanta to have some better fortunes? I mean, an inkling on which car you're going to be going for?
4GT. It'll be in the 4GT.
There you go.
Yeah, Rob knows how I work.
Rob knows
a
how
car
you rock.
that's a little bit more predictable, and yeah, the GT3 start was actually pretty insane. I was right behind that big pileup in the last chicane, just barely squeaked by.
Excellent stuff. Well, good job for you to get the cars to finish, and thanks to everyone who's been in the all the drivers who've been in here to have a chat with us. We're going to quickly wrap up before we wrap up. Have a chat to our 2 race stewards, to Egil Sandfeld and to Neil Heckens. Gentlemen, you had a little bit of an eventful time at the beginning of the race, but of course, in the last hour and 20 minutes or so, you had it pretty simple, didn't you? You sat back and just chilled out and enjoyed the rest of the race. And what a finish that was!
Yeah, indeed, it's quite alright. We had a lot of things to deal with in the beginning, with a lot of confusion on the track and a lot of crashes and incidents. But after a while, it kind of got a bit more quiet, and we could see the drivers were starting to get in the groove and just turning laps after lap, and that was so nice to see. And then we had this amazing four-way battle in the Riley class, and then afterwards in the GTs also here in the end. So yeah, we really enjoyed it, and we just sat back and listened to you guys fool around. So yeah, it was a perfect evening.
Good job. And of course, go on, Rob.
I was going to say, I mean, they must have been bored in the last hour, and well, they weren't bored. They were posting pictures of themselves on Twitter with drinks and stuff, watching. So they were doing the social media side while the drivers were sorting themselves out. So there's some good stuff on Twitter that the guys posted. So that's cool.
Yeah, something for you to see later on. We have an announcement. We have to give the Clean X award for this race to the guy who has done at least amounts of incidents during this race. And this race, a guy had 2 incidents in the whole race in all 150 minutes of racing, and that was actually Rupe Tequila. So congratulations.
That's the most epic award announcement I've ever heard. That's fantastic. So, congratulations to Rupe Tequila then. He gets today's Clean X award and earns himself $10 big fat dollars for that one. So, absolutely good job from Rupe there. It's a fantastic job. And I think, gentlemen, we have to wrap this up because it's been a fantastic job. Again, great job again from Egil and Neil for their brilliant job of marshalling today. Congratulations to all the teams and drivers that took part today. Congratulations to Blake for winning the overall and DP class, and of course to Maxine Ramstein for grabbing the GT lead and the victory on the final straight. I want to say thank you, of course, to Dan. Of course, he had to shoot off because he had to do a podcast, and also, I guess, Rob, as he's still here. Final words from yourself. What a way to start the championship.
Yeah, great start to the championship. Gutted for Tommaso. He was unlucky because he actually deserved that, but you know, that's racing. Brilliant, right? First race. All the drivers did awesome. Few people need to for future just check their mirrors a little bit more, but the guys that finished were some of the best racing I've seen in a long time on this service. So good job, everybody.
Absolutely, couldn't disagree with that at all. So the next time you'll see the Neo Endurance Series will be the Petit Le Mans 2.5 hours at Road Atlanta. That will be on October the 20th for another 2.5 hours of racing. The broadcast will start at 5:30 GMT time, or if you're in the UK, that's 6:30 UK time, and that'll be with the cars we'll be running are the HPD ARX 01C, LMP Racer, the Corvette C6R, and the Ford GT. But until then, from myself, Scott Woodwist, and of course from Rob Cuss, from Dan, and also from Jarno, who's been our cameraman today, from all the teams, drivers, from everyone at Neo Endurance, thank you very much for watching. It's been a GlacierTV production for the Neo Endurance Championship, and your winners today in the GT class, Maxime Ramstein, and overall in the DP class, Blake Townend. But until next time, we'll probably be back next time. Whether or not I will remains to be seen. But until then, thanks again very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll catch you next time for the Neo Endurance series at Road Atlanta. Bye for now.